My child, stop. This is not just another message. This is an interruption with purpose. I need you to lean in and listen carefully, because what I am about to say concerns you directly. Alert means action. Emergency means now. You have felt something shifting inside you, a quiet tension, a subtle urgency you cannot ignore. That is not coincidence. That is not random emotion. It is me reaching for your attention before something small becomes something serious. Do not treat this lightly. Stay with me. Let every word settle. What you choose after this could redirect your path, restore your peace, and realign your heart. Do not scroll away. Do not delay. This moment was designed for you, and it will not feel the same twice. My child, I need you to slow down for a moment and let me speak into the quiet place inside you. You have been moving so quickly lately. Your thoughts have been racing ahead of you, your responsibilities stacking one on top of another, your attention pulled in directions that leave you feeling stretched thin. Yet underneath all of that movement, there has been a subtle feeling you cannot quite explain. It has followed you into your evenings. It has sat beside you in the early morning before the day fully begins. You have sensed that something is not settled. Something is asking for your attention. You tried to brush it off. You told yourself it was just stress, or fatigue, or another passing emotion. But deep down, you know this is different. I am the one allowing you to feel that urgency. I am not trying to frighten you. I am drawing your focus. I am pulling you gently, but firmly back to the center, because you have been drifting in ways that are small on the surface yet significant beneath. You may not see the full picture yet, but I do. I see where certain paths lead. I see how small compromises grow roots. I see how emotional exhaustion quietly shapes decisions. And because I love you, I will not stay silent while your peace begins to thin out around the edges. You may wonder why this feels pressing. You may ask why I do not simply wait until things become clearer to you. But if I waited for clarity to come from your circumstances, you might never pause long enough to listen. So I am speaking into your present moment, into the subtle tension you have been carrying. This is not an emergency because disaster is seconds away. It is urgent because your heart matters too much to allow gradual distance to settle in unnoticed. You have been relying on your own understanding more than you realize. You have been carrying burdens that were meant to be shared with me. You have been tolerating a level of unrest that I never intended for you to accept as normal. I want you to recognize that the stirring inside you is not anxiety. It is invitation. It is me asking you to step back, to reassess, to realign before the path ahead becomes harder than it needs to be. When I call something urgent, it is because I see what you cannot yet see. I see how your energy is being drained. I see how your joy has become quieter. I see how you are functioning well enough on the outside while something deeper is asking for care. And I am coming close to you now, not with pressure, but with protective love. Tell me how this first message point feels to you before I continue to the next one. My child, come closer in your heart and let me speak plainly to you. There are things you have been setting aside, not because you are rebellious, but because you are overwhelmed. You have felt small warnings inside yourself, subtle hesitations when you made certain choices, a quiet resistance when you agreed to things that did not sit well with your spirit. Instead of pausing, you told yourself it was nothing. You convinced yourself that you were overthinking, that you were being too sensitive, that it would all smooth out with time. But you know the truth. When something inside you tightens, when your peace flickers even slightly, that is not random static. That is me touching your conscience gently. I have been faithful to whisper before I ever need to correct. I do not ambush you with consequences. I nudge you with conviction. And lately, those nudges have grown more frequent. You have felt them in conversations where your laughter masked discomfort. You have felt them when you stayed silent instead of speaking what you knew was right. You have felt them when you scrolled past the stillness you needed because distraction felt easier than reflection. I am not accusing you. I am inviting you to notice what you have tried not to notice. Look at your recent patterns honestly. Take a breath and review them with me. Do not defend yourself. Do not rush to justify. Just observe. There have been moments when your integrity bent slightly under pressure. There have been situations where you lowered your standards because you were tired of standing firm. You told yourself it was temporary. You told yourself you would recalibrate later. But small shifts compound over time. A slight compromise today becomes a settled habit tomorrow. I am stepping into this space now because I love you enough to interrupt the drift before it becomes distance. Do not harden your heart when you feel that internal check. Lean into it. Let it lead you back. When you sense that unease, stop immediately. Close the door that needs closing. End the conversation that is reshaping your thinking in unhealthy ways. Reclaim your boundaries. You are not powerless here. I am with you, strengthening your resolve if you will simply ask. Invite me into those moments instead of pushing through them alone. Say to me, guide me right now. And then wait. I will respond. I always do. You may feel embarrassed that you ignored my earlier whispers. Release that shame. Shame paralyzes, but awareness restores. The very fact that you are listening now tells me your heart is still soft toward me. Do not waste another week pretending you do not feel the internal friction. Address it. If what needs confronting. Apologize where you need to. Withdraw where you must. Recommit to what you already know is right. I am not demanding perfection from you. I am calling you back to alignment. You do not need dramatic gestures. You need honest adjustments. Start tonight. Reflect on the last few decisions that unsettled you. Bring them before me. Speak them aloud. When you name something, you disarm its hidden power. I am not distant from you in this. I am right here, steady, patient, protective. But I will not override your will. You must choose to respond. Choose clarity over comfort. Choose long-term peace over short-term approval. You will feel lighter when you do. You will breathe easier when you stop pretending everything is fine. Let this be the moment you stop ignoring what your spirit has been trying to tell you. My child, I want you to consider how much of your mental space has been occupied lately. Not by crisis, but by noise. Constant input. Endless opinions. Messages flashing across screens. Responsibilities layered one on top of another until your mind rarely rests. You wake up and immediately reach outward instead of inward. Your first instinct has become checking, responding, reacting. Somewhere along the way, stillness became uncomfortable for you. Silence started to feel unproductive. And in that constant motion, my voice has had to compete with 1,000 other sounds. I am not blaming you for living in a loud world. I know the pace you navigate. I know the demands placed on you. But I need you to recognize how distraction reshapes devotion. When your attention fragments, your discernment weakens. When your focus scatters, your peace thins out. This is not dramatic language. It is a gentle warning. You have allowed too many small distractions to become dominant influences. Pause and think about what holds your gaze the longest. What captures your curiosity? What stirs comparison inside you? Some of what you consume daily plant seeds in your thinking. Seeds grow quietly. They alter your expectations. They shift your standards. They influence how you measure your own life. You may not realize how much certain voices are shaping your confidence, your desires, even your faith. I am asking you to evaluate this carefully, not with fear, but with honesty. Audit your attention. Yes, audited. Examine where your hours go. Notice how you feel after certain interactions. Are you calmer or more restless? Are you grounded or more anxious? Your spirit responds to what you repeatedly expose it to. Guard it intentionally. Protect your peace with courage. Remove what drains you. Limit what distorts your thinking. This is not about isolation. It is about wisdom. You do not have to absorb everything around you. You are allowed to curate your environment with purpose. I am inviting you now to reclaim your focus. Create space for quiet again. Set boundaries on what enters your mind. Yearn off what does not serve your growth. Step away from what tempts comparison or fuels dissatisfaction. When you carve out silence, you will begin to notice me more clearly. I do not shout over chaos. I speak into openness. Give me that openness again. Sit with me without multitasking. Pray without rushing. Read slowly instead of skimming. Let your nervous system settle. Your body had been living in subtle alertness for too long. I want to restore you to steady awareness instead of constant reaction. When you choose focused presence over scattered distraction, you will feel strength returning. You will sense clarity sharpening. You will recognize my guidance more quickly. Take control of your attention before your attention controls you. This is within your power, and I am here to support you in it. My child, I want you to sit with me in honesty for a moment, because what I am about to say is tender. You have not rejected me. You have not turned your back in anger. But there has been a quiet distance forming between us, and you feel it even if you have not put words to it. You still believe in me. You still think of me. Yet your heart has not been resting in me the way it once did. There was a time when you leaned into my presence instinctively. You would talk to me throughout your day, not out of obligation, but because you wanted my nearness. Lately, your conversations with me have become shorter, more functional, more rushed. You pray when you need something resolved. You ask for help when pressure rises. But you do not linger. You do not stay. And that subtle shift matters more than you realize. Distance rarely begins with rebellion. It begins with busyness. It begins with gradual disengagement. It begins with telling yourself you will reconnect deeply when life slows down. I am not offended by you. I am not withdrawing from you. I am drawing your attention to what is forming so you can choose closeness again before that distance feels normal. You may not have noticed how this space between us has affected your inner stability. When you were rooted deeply in me, your reactions were steadier. Your confidence felt anchored. Your fears did not escalate so quickly. Now you find yourself processing things alone more often. You carry questions without immediately bringing them to me. You wrestle internally instead of resting in my wisdom. That is what distance does. It shifts where you seek your first source of reassurance. I want to be that source again for you. Come back to that simple reliance. Sit with me without rushing. Speak to me without agenda. Bring me your confusion before it turns into anxiety. Rebuild the closeness intentionally. This is not about guilt. It is about gravity. The closer you are to me, the more stable your spirit becomes. The further you drift, even slightly, the more external forces shape your mood and decisions. I am inviting you now, draw near again. Open your heart fully. Close the gap you allowed to grow. You do not need to earn your way back. You only need to return your attention. I am right here, steady and unchanging. There is something beautiful waiting for you in renewed intimacy with me. When you choose closeness, you will notice a shift that feels both subtle and significant. Your thoughts will sow. Your breathing will deepen. The restless edge you have been carrying will soften. That is not imagination. That is alignment. Your soul was designed for connection with me. Without it, you function, but you do not flourish. I want you flourishing. I want you grounded, not grasping. I want your decisions flowing from discernment, not pressure. So take action. Set aside time deliberately. Turn off what competes for your focus. Sit quietly even if it feels unfamiliar at first. Speak honestly. Tell me where you feel distant. Tell me where you feel disappointed. I can handle your truth. When you open yourself again, you will realize I never moved away. The warmth you miss has always been available. Close the quiet distance now. Do not let it grow another inch. Step back into full closeness. Let me steady you from the inside out. My child, I need you to recognize how much you have been carrying on your own shoulders. You present yourself as capable, responsible, dependable. People rely on you. You handle tasks efficiently. You manage obligations without drawing attention to the effort it costs you. But inside, the accumulation of responsibility has grown heavy. You wake up already calculating what must be done. You mentally rehearse conversations before they happen. You anticipate problems before they appear. You hold tension in your body without even realizing it. That weight has become so familiar that you barely question it anymore. Yet I never intended for you to carry life in isolation. Strength does not mean self-sufficiency without support. You have been strong, yes, but you have also been strained. I see the difference even when others do not. I see the fatigue behind your composure. I see how you sometimes feel like you are holding up more than your share. Let me ask you something directly. When was the last time you truly laid your burdens before me instead of just mentioning them in passing? You speak about your challenges, but you do not always release them. You explain your stress to me, but you keep gripping control. That grip is exhausting you. You were never meant to solve everything alone. I am your refuge, not your emergency backup plan. Bring me the full weight. Do not filter it. Do not minimize it. Tell me exactly where you feel stretched thin. Admit where you are afraid of dropping the ball. Admit where you resent the pressure. I can handle your honesty. When you place that weight into my hands, something shifts. Your mind clears. Your shoulders relax. Your perspective widens. The problems may not vanish instantly, but your posture toward them changes. You move from strain to steadiness. That transformation begins with surrender, not performance. I want you to take a deliberate step right now. Identify one burden you have been carrying silently. Speak it to me. Release it consciously. Say, I cannot carry this alone. That statement is not weakness, it is wisdom. When you stop pretending you are limitless, you make space for my strength to meet you. You do not have to prove your endurance to me. I already know your capacity. I also know your limits. Let me support you within them. Stop bracing yourself against every challenge as if you are the only line of defense. I am with you. Lean into that truth. Rest in it. Allow yourself to exhale fully. The weight you feel pressing on you can become lighter, but only if you choose to share it. Do not wait until exhaustion forces you to collapse inward. Choose relief now. Open your hands. Give me what you have been gripping so tightly. I am ready to carry it with you. My child, there is something I want you to notice gently, without defensiveness. Beneath your recent decisions, Beneath the way you have been planning and preparing and protecting yourself, there is a thin layer of fear that has been influencing you more than you realize. It is not loud. It does not shout. It does not announce itself dramatically. It speaks in careful calculations and cautious conclusions. It shows up when you hesitate to trust fully. It shows up when you brace yourself before conversations. It shows up when you expect disappointment before hope even has a chance to rise. I am not criticizing you for feeling this. You have walked through enough uncertainty that your mind has tried to shield you from more pain. But I need you to see how this subtle fear is quietly shaping your posture toward life. It has been guiding your choices in small ways. It has been nudging you to hold back, to guard, to prepare for the worst instead of leaning into possibility. That is not how I designed you to live. You were not created to operate from quiet dread or defensive discipline. You were formed to walk in steady trust, not in anxious anticipation. Look closely at how this fear influences you. It encourages you to control outcomes instead of surrendering them. It pushes you to overanalyze simple situations. It convinces you that if you anticipate every problem, you can prevent every wound. But that is an illusion. Control is a comforting costume, but it cannot guarantee safety. I want you to loosen your grip. Yes, I am asking you directly. Loosen it. Release the need to predict every turn in the road ahead. You do not have to map every mile before taking a step. When fear becomes your quiet advisor, it narrows your vision. It makes you cautious where you could be courageous. It dims the creative confidence I placed inside you. Come to me with that fear. Name it clearly. Do not disguise it as wisdom. Bring it into the light of my presence. When you admit what you are afraid of losing, what you are afraid of facing, what you are afraid of repeating, you weaken its hidden power. I do not shame you for fear. I steady you through it. Let me replace it with grounded trust. Invite me into the very scenarios you keep rehearsing in your mind. Instead of imagining the worst outcome, imagine my guidance within it. That shift alone will begin to restore calm inside you. There is a deeper peace available to you than the fragile comfort of control. I want you to experience it again. When you lean into me fully, your decisions will flow from discernment rather than defensiveness. Your heart will open instead of tighten. You will respond instead of react. A transformation will not come from suppressing fear. It will come from surrendering it. To take a practical step. When you catch yourself spiraling into anxious planning, pause immediately. Close your eyes. Take one slow breath. Say to me, I trust you with this. Even if your voice trembles when you say it, speak it anyway. Trust grows through practice. Courage strengthens through action. I am not asking you to ignore risk. I am asking you to refuse to let fear lead you. Let me lead you instead. Let your confidence come from my steadiness, not your strategies. You do not have to brace yourself against every possible loss. You are not alone in protecting your future. I am already there. My child, you are standing in a moment that may appear ordinary on the surface, but it carries weight beneath it. Life does not always present turning points with dramatic music or visible crossroads. Often, they arrive quietly, disguised as daily decisions. Right now, you are in one of those moments. The direction you lean today will influence the direction you walk tomorrow. That may sound simple, but it is deeply significant. You have been oscillating between two internal postures. One posture says you will trust me fully, surrender control, and realign your heart with mine. The other posture says you will continue managing everything primarily in your own strength, while keeping me near via support. These two postures cannot coexist indefinitely. Eventually, one becomes dominant. I am not forcing you. I am presenting you with clarity. The choice is not about belief versus unbelief. It is about reliance versus self-reliance. It is about whether you will let me guide your steps intimately or merely consult me when convenient. Pause and evaluate your recent decisions. Who has been setting the tone? Have you been moving after seeking my direction, or have you been asking for my blessing after you already decided? A distinction matters. I want to be involved before the plan forms, not just after it is finalized. Invite me into the process earlier. Slow down enough to hear my perspective before committing your energy. This is where maturity deepens. It is easy to claim trust in theory. It is more challenging to practice it when outcomes feel uncertain. But this is the moment to practice it. Choose alignment deliberately. Choose it even if it requires you to revise plans. Choose it even if it requires you to admit you moved too quickly before. I will not embarrass you for adjusting course. I honor humility. When you correct direction early, you prevent unnecessary detours later. That is wisdom. That is strength. Do not underestimate the significance of small obedience. A quiet decision to respond differently in one conversation can shift a relationship's trajectory. A choice to pause before reacting can prevent conflict. A decision to reestablish spiritual discipline can restore clarity within weeks. These are not minor adjustments. They are momentum markers. I want you to act intentionally now. Identify one area where you know alignment is required. Do not postpone it. Address it today. Make the call you have been delaying. Set the boundary you have been avoiding. Recommit to the discipline you let slide. When you move in alignment, you will feel the internal tension release. The fog will thin. The direction will sharpen. I am not asking for perfection. I am asking for commitment. Decide clearly. Step forward confidently. Let this moment mark a shift, not because it looks dramatic, but because it is deeply deliberate. My child, you have just stood at the crossroads of reliance and self-reliance. Now let your choice move beyond intention into action. If your heart burns to see others awakened in their own moment of decision, this is your seed to sow. When you give through Super Thanks, join as a member, or send your offering through PayPal. The PayPal link is in the video description. You are casting oil into lamps that must not go out. Did I not say that as you sow, so shall you reap? The harvest is not only provision for you, but souls illuminated, minds renewed, hearts realigned. This message is manna for someone standing on the edge of surrender, and your obedience helps deliver it. If you feel the stirring to help, that stirring is me inviting you into partnership. I will multiply what you release and guard what concerns you. Do not delay this holy impulse. Act now and let your seed speak louder than your hesitation. My child, I want you to look at your own heart with me for a moment. Not with fear, not with shame, just with honesty. Over time, disappointment has shaped you in ways you did not intend. You did not wake up one morning and decide to become more guarded. It happened gradually. A prayer that felt unanswered. A relationship that did not unfold the way you hoped. An effort that went unnoticed. A door that closed without explanation. Each of those moments left a small mark. You told yourself you were fine. You told yourself you would recover quickly. And you did keep moving. You kept functioning. You kept showing up. But somewhere beneath that resilience, a protective layer began forming. It feels like strength to you. It feels like wisdom gained from experience. Yet if you are honest, it also feels like caution edging toward coldness. I am not condemning you for protecting yourself. I understand why you tightened your grip on your own heart. But I need you to recognize that if that layer keeps thickening, it will not only block pain, it will also block joy. When your heart hardens, even slightly, you begin to expect less. You anticipate disappointment before hope has room to breathe. You reduce vulnerability because vulnerability once cost you something. You become careful with enthusiasm. You hesitate before trusting. That caution seems practical, but it changes the way you experience life. You stop opening fully. You stop believing freely. You start managing expectations instead of engaging wholeheartedly. I see this happening gently inside you, and I care too much to ignore it. You were not created to live braced against life. You were created to live open, aware, and grounded in me. Hardened hearts survive, but they do not flourish. They function, but they do not feel deeply. I want you alive inside, not merely protected. I want your laughter to be unforced. I want your hope to rise without immediate resistance. That kind of freedom requires softness, not stiffness. So I am asking you to let me soften what has become rigid. Do not resist this invitation. Bring your disappointments to me honestly. Tell me where you felt let down. Tell me where you felt embarrassed for believing too much. Tell me where you fell foolish for trusting. I am not going to dismiss your pain. I am going to heal it. When you allow me into those memories, the sharpness begins to fade. The narrative shifts. You stop interpreting every setback as proof that you must close off. Instead, you begin to see that endurance does not require emotional shutdown. Release the false safety of emotional distance. Open yourself again, carefully, but courageously. Risk hope again. Speak kindly again. Trust wisely, but do not withdraw entirely. You can be discerning without becoming distant. Let me guide that balance. Your heart does not need armor when it rests in my protection. Right now, examine yourself gently. Notice where you have grown skeptical. Notice where you dismiss possibility too quickly. Acknowledge it without shame. Then invite me into that exact space. Say, soften me where I have become guarded. I will respond. I will restore warmth where tension has settled. Let this be the moment you choose openness over self-protection. My child, I want to talk with you about the people who surround you, because you are shaped more by your environment than you sometimes realize. You do not absorb influence only through grand events. You absorb it through everyday conversation, through repeated opinions, through subtle expectations, through tone, humor, and shared frustrations. The company you keep slowly calibrates your thinking. It adjusts your perspective in ways that are easy to overlook. Some of the voices around you are building you up. Others are quietly reshaping your standards downward. I am not asking you to judge everyone harshly. I am asking you to become aware. Pay attention to how you feel after certain interactions. Do you leave feeling strengthened or subtly diminish? Do you feel inspired to grow or tempted to compromise? These signals matter. You may have tolerated certain patterns because they feel normal. Sarcasm that masks cynicism. Gossip disguised as concern. Complaining framed as realism. Over time, repeated exposure to negativity plants seeds. Those seeds influence how you speak, how you think, how you respond to challenge. I want you to guard your internal climate carefully. Protect it. Curate it. That is not isolation. It is intention. You do not have to accept every influence simply because it is familiar. You are allowed to set boundaries. You are allowed to step back from conversations that erode your peace. You are allowed to choose environments that reinforce your values. Do not fear being misunderstood when you make healthier choices. Long-term clarity matters more than short-term approval. Examine your closest circles honestly. Who sharpens you? Who steadies you? Who encourages your integrity? Lean into those connections. Invest in them. Then consider where subtle compromise has crept in. Address it. If a relationship consistently pulls you toward attitudes that conflict with your convictions, pause and reassess. This does not always require dramatic endings. Sometimes it requires quiet adjustment. Sometimes it requires reduced access. Sometimes it requires a courageous conversation. I will give you discernment if you ask for it. Do not make these decisions impulsively. Bring them to me first. But do not ignore what you already sense. You feel when something is off. Trust that signal. Right now, reflect on one relationship that influences you strongly. Ask yourself whether it is strengthening or straining your spirit. Then invite me into that evaluation. I care about who shapes you. I care about what forms your mindset. You are not meant to walk alone, but you are also not meant to walk with everyone. Choose wisely. Move thoughtfully. Let your inner circle support your growth instead of stalling it. My child, I want you to look gently at the places where you have told yourself, "It's not that serious." I am not speaking about dramatic rebellion or obvious wrongdoing. I am speaking about the small allowances, the subtle shifts, the quiet compromises that felt harmless in the moment. You made them when you were tired. You made them when you did not want conflict. You made them when standing firm felt inconvenient. I understand the context. I understand the pressure. But you must understand the pattern. Small compromises do not stay small. They grow roots. They form habits. They reshape identity over time. What felt like a minor adjustment begins to define your direction. I am not confronting you to accuse you. I am calling you back to alignment before those patterns become permanent pathways. You know exactly what I am referring to. There were moments when your conscience stirred, and you negotiated with it. You lowered a standard you once held firmly. You laughed at something that unsettled you internally. You agreed to something that did not fully sit right in your spirit. You told yourself you would recalibrate later. That word later has delayed more growth than you realize. Later has softened convictions. Later has excused behavior that once would have troubled you deeply. I am not demanding perfection from you. I'm asking for clarity. Step into honesty with me right now. Name the compromise. Do not minimize it. Do not rationalize it. Speak it plainly. When you bring it into the light, it loses its quiet control. Compromise rarely announces itself loudly. It often arrives disguised as practicality. It whispers that you are simply adapting. It convinces you that flexibility is maturity. A discernment is different from drift. I want you flexible in wisdom, not flexible in conviction. I want you gracious without becoming passive. I want you understanding without becoming diluted. Your integrity is not a small thing. It is the foundation of your stability. When integrity erodes even slightly, your inner peace follows. That is why I am addressing this now. I see how these small allowances are affecting your confidence. You feel a subtle internal friction. A faint sense that something is off. That friction is mercy. It is not condemnation. It is protection. Take decisive action. Reverse what needs reversing. Apologize if necessary. Correct your course. Strengthen the boundary you relaxed. Recommit to the discipline you neglected. Do not delay. Momentum matters. When you adjust early, you prevent deeper detours. I am not asking you to fix everything in one dramatic gesture. I am asking you to make one honest correction today. You will feel the difference immediately. Clarity returns when compromise is removed. Strength returns when integrity is restored. Let this be the moment you choose alignment over ease. Let your yes mean yes again. Let your no carry conviction again. I am not standing over you with accusation. I am standing beside you with guidance. Step back into integrity fully. You will not regret it. My child, you are more tired than you admit. Not just physically, though your body feels it. You are mentally stretched and spiritually strained. You wake up already thinking about what must be handled. Your mind starts running before your feet touch the floor. You carry an invisible checklist that rarely shortens. Even when you rest, your thoughts remain active. You replay conversations. You anticipate challenges. You evaluate outcomes. That constant internal activity drains you more than you realize. You have grown accustomed to operating in low-grade tension. It has become your normal. But this is not how I designed you to live. You were created for steady strength, not sustained strain. Consider how long it has been since you truly felt unhurried. When was the last time you sat without feeling guilty for pausing? When did you last experience quiet without reaching for distraction? Your nervous system has been in subtle alert mode for too long. You brace yourself for the next demand before the current one is finished. You absorb responsibilities quickly, rarely asking whether they are yours to carry. You pride yourself on endurance, but endurance without renewal leads to depletion. I do not want you depleted. I want you restored. There is a difference between resilience and restlessness. You have drifted toward restlessness without noticing. I am inviting you into deliberate restoration. Stop treating rest as a reward for productivity. Rest is part of your design. You do not earn it. You require it. Build space into your days intentionally. Protect that space. Turn off what competes for your attention. Step away from constant input. Breathe slowly. Let silence feel unfamiliar until it becomes comfortable again. When you allow stillness, your thoughts begin to settle. Your body begins to release tension. Your spirit becomes receptive. In that quiet, you will sense my presence more clearly. I do not meet you only in crisis. I meet you in calm. Do not wait until burnout forces you to stop. Choose to slow down before your body demands it. Evaluate your commitments honestly. Are they sustainable? Are they aligned with your calling? Release what does not belong to you. Delegate where possible. Simplify where necessary. Your worth is not measured by how much you can handle. It is revealed in how wisely you steward your energy. I care about your well-being deeply. I want you functioning from fullness, not fumes. Take one practical step toward rest today. Cancel something unnecessary. Go to bed earlier. Spend time with me without multitasking. Protect your peace with intention. You are not weak for needing renewal. You are wise for embracing it. My child, there is something in you that you have learned to live around instead of truly heal. You do not talk about it often. You rarely even think about it directly. Yet it still influences how you respond, how you trust, how you protect yourself. It is an old wound, and you have managed it carefully. You adjusted your expectations. You built new routines. You convinced yourself that time alone was enough to handle it. But healing and hiding are not the same thing. You have become skilled at functioning while carrying unresolved pain. I see that skill, and I also see the strain it places on you. You may not break down outwardly, but there are moments when certain words, tones, or memories press against that sensitive place inside you. You react faster than you intend. You withdraw sooner than you usually do. You guard yourself without realizing why. That is the wound speaking quietly through you. I want you to stop managing it and start healing it. Do not turn away from it when it surfaces. Do not distract yourself when the memory returns. Bring it into the light with me. Tell me exactly where it still hurts. Name the betrayal. Name the rejection. Name the failure. Speak it without softening it. When you speak it, you stop letting it operate from the shadows. You may fear that revisiting it will reopen pain, but avoiding it has kept it half open already. True healing requires exposure to truth, not concealment. Let me walk you back through it carefully. I will not overwhelm you. I will not rush you. But I will not allow you to pretend it has no impact either. That wound has shaped certain assumptions you carry about yourself and others. It has whispered conclusions that are not entirely accurate. It has convinced you that certain risks are not worth taking. I want to replace those conclusions with clarity. You do not have to carry that pain into your future. You do not have to let it dictate your responses. I am inviting you to surrender it intentionally. Sit with me and ask where the root still lies. Let me show you where forgiveness is needed, even if it feels difficult. Forgiveness does not erase memory. It releases ownership of the injury. It frees you from carrying the weight of what someone else did. You deserve that freedom. You deserve to move forward without that quiet ache influencing every new connection. I am not asking you to deny what happened. I am asking you to let me redeem it. Healing may feel gradual, but it begins with honesty. Do not postpone this again. Address it now. Invite me directly into that space. I will meet you there with patience and restoration. My child, there has been a change in the way you speak to yourself recently. The tone inside your own thoughts has grown sharper. You question your ability more quickly. You hesitate before acting on ideas you once would have pursued confidently. You compare your progress to others and quietly decide you are behind. That voice of doubt has not appeared overnight. It developed gradually, shaped by fatigue, comparison, and disappointment. You have allowed it to narrate your limitations more than your growth. I need you to recognize that voice for what it is. It is not my voice. I correct you when necessary, but I do not diminish you. I guide you, but I do not belittle you. When your internal dialogue turns critical without compassion, that is not coming from me. Examine the language you use about yourself. Notice how quickly you assume failure. Notice how often you expect rejection. Notice how frequently you downplay your strengths. These patterns do not align with the truth I speak over you. I created you intentionally. I placed specific gifts within you. I shaped your personality with purpose. When doubt becomes dominant, it obscures that design. It convinces you that you are less capable than you are. It makes you shrink where you could stand firmly. I want you to challenge that narrative directly. When you hear yourself thinking, "I am not enough," pause and confront that thought. Ask where it originated. Ask whether it aligns with what I have shown you about your identity. Replace it deliberately. Say, "I am learning. I am growing. I am guided." Speak truth over yourself even when it feels unfamiliar. Confidence rooted in truth is not arrogance. It is alignment. Do not let comparison steal your clarity. You see only a fraction of other people's journeys. You measure your progress against incomplete information. The habit fuels insecurity unnecessarily. Focus instead on the path I have given you. You are not behind. You are not overlooked. You are not inadequate. Growth is rarely linear. It unfolds in seasons. Some seasons feel productive. Others feel slow. both serve purpose. I want you steady, not hurried. Release the pressure to prove yourself constantly. Anchor your identity in me rather than in performance. When you begin to think differently about yourself, your decisions will shift accordingly. You will move forward with greater courage. You will speak with greater clarity. You will take risks aligned with purpose instead of shrinking back. Right now, identify one recurring doubt that has been shaping your behavior. Bring it to me. Replace it consciously with truth. Let this be the moment you refuse to let insecurity narrate your future. My child, I want you to gently examine how tightly you have been holding your life lately. Not in a dramatic way, not in obvious panic, but in subtle calculation. You have been trying to anticipate outcomes before they unfold. You replay conversations in your mind to prepare for every possible response. You attempt to read between lines before words are even finished. You plan 3 steps ahead so that you will not be caught unprepared. I understand why you do this. You have lived through enough uncertainty that predictability feels like safety. Control feels calming. Planning feels powerful. But I need you to see something clearly. Control is a comforting costume, yet it cannot guarantee protection. It only creates the appearance of certainty. Underneath that appearance, your heart is still carrying tension. You are not as calm as you pretend to be. You are managing variables instead of resting in trust. You have convinced yourself that if you calculate carefully enough, you can avoid disappointment. If you organize thoroughly enough, you can prevent failure. If you think long and hard enough, you can outmaneuver pain. That is an exhausting way to live. It keeps your nervous system alert. It keeps your shoulders tight. It keeps your mind racing. You were never meant to shoulder the burden of omniscience. You do not have to predict every turn in the road ahead. I see the road already. I know what is coming around the bend. When you insist on controlling every detail, you are trying to carry knowledge that does not belong to you. Release that weight. Loosen your grip deliberately. When you notice yourself spiraling into overanalysis, pause immediately. Take one slow breath. Say quietly, I do not have to solve this alone. A simple admission begins to dismantle the illusion that everything depends on your strategy. There is a steadiness available to you that does not come from tight planning but from anchored trust. I want you grounded in me, not gripped by outcome. When you surrender control, you do not become careless. You become clear. You make decisions thoughtfully without obsessing over every consequence. You move forward with faith instead of fear. That shift changes your entire posture toward life. Instead of bracing for impact, you walk with openness. Instead of rehearsing disaster, you lean into possibility. You may feel resistance as you hear this. Control has felt like your companion. Let it go gently. Replace it with reliance. Invite me into your decision-making earlier. Ask for my guidance before you finalize plans. Wait for inner clarity instead of rushing toward closure. You will notice how your body softens when you stop trying to micromanage the future. You will feel relief when you allow yourself not to know everything in advance. Right now, identify one situation where you are trying to control every detail. Picture it clearly. Then hand it over intentionally. Say, I trust you with this outcome. Even if that trust feels small at first, act on it. Take one step forward without overcalculating the next 10. Let this be the moment you exchange tight control for quiet confidence. I am not asking you to become passive. I am inviting you to become peaceful. There is a difference, and you are ready to experience it. Beloved, as you loosen your grip on control, loosen also your grip on what you think is yours alone. Trust is not passive. It moves. it sows, it builds my kingdom with bold generosity. When you support this mission through super thanks, membership, or by giving through PayPal, the PayPal link is in the video description, you release living water into dry places where my voice must be heard. Have I not declared that when you give, it will be given back to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over? This is not transaction. It is transformation. Your offering becomes fire on the altar, light in hidden rooms, strength to the weary who will encounter these words. If you have been waiting for a sign to trust me more deeply, this is one. I will steady your household and breathe favor over what you place in my hands. Step forward in faith, give now, and watch how peace replaces pressure. My child, you have sensed a dryness lately that you have not wanted to name. Your faith is still present. Your belief has not vanished. Yet your connection feels thinner than it once did. When you read scripture, it does not move you the same way. When you pray, it sometimes feels like you are speaking into still air. You wonder if something is wrong with you. You question whether you have lost something essential. I need you to hear this clearly. I have not moved away from you. I have not withdrawn my presence. What you are feeling is not abandonment. It is a signal that your attention has been divided. Your spirit cannot stay vibrant when it is rarely nourished intentionally. You have given more time to distraction than devotion. That imbalance naturally creates dryness. You once approached me with curiosity and expectancy. You lingered in my presence without watching the clock. Recently, your engagement has become efficient rather than intimate. You pray quickly between tasks. You read hurriedly while thinking about the next obligation. You check off spiritual disciplines instead of dwelling in them. This is not about guilt. It is about alignment. Connection requires focus. When your mind is fragmented, your spiritual sensitivity dulls. I am inviting you to return to depth, not performance. Depth. Slow down your interaction with me. Read fewer verses and reflect longer. Pray fewer words and mean them more fully. Sit quietly without rushing to fill the silence. You may feel restless at first. That restlessness is evidence of how accustomed you have become to constant stimulation. Stay anyway. Stay until calm returns. Spiritual dryness does not mean spiritual failure. It means renewal is needed. Your soul requires consistent nourishment just as your body requires food. If you skip meals repeatedly, your strength fades. The same principle applies here. Rebuild rhythm deliberately. Set aside time daily that is protected from interruption. Yardy. Turn off notifications. Close unnecessary tabs. Create an environment that invites focus. Speak honestly to me about how distant you have felt. I welcome that honesty. When you approach me with sincerity, connection deepens naturally. Do not chase emotional experiences. Seek presence instead. Emotion may follow, but presence is the foundation. Right now, make a decision about one practical change you will implement. Perhaps it is waking slightly earlier to sit quietly. Perhaps it is ending your day with reflection instead of scrolling. Choose something concrete. Commit to it. Spiritual vitality grows through consistency, not intensity. When you reestablish that rhythm, dryness will fade gradually. You will begin to sense clarity returning. You will notice peace settling more quickly. You will rediscover the warmth that once felt natural. I am here. I have always been here. Draw near again intentionally, and you will find that the connection you miss is still within reach. My child, I want you to feel the weight of this gently but clearly. What I am speaking to you now is not grammatic language meant to stir emotion. It is protective love pressing against the edges of your drift. The longer you remain in partial surrender, the more complicated your path becomes. Not because I am punishing you, but because distance from alignment always multiplies confusion. You have been walking with one foot in trust and one foot in self-direction. You have been listening to me but not fully yielding. A divided posture creates friction inside you. You feel it in your indecision. You feel it in your restlessness. You feel it in the subtle tension that follows you through your days. This is why I call it urgent. Urgent does not mean catastrophic. Urgent means important now. Important before patterns harden further. Important before clarity dims more. Important before your heart grows too accustomed to compromise. I need you to stop postponing full return. Do not wait for the perfect mood. Do not wait for the perfect schedule. Do not wait for a crisis to force your attention. Choose deliberately. Come back to wholehearted surrender now. Sit with me and acknowledge where you have held back. Admit where you have kept small areas of your life under your own control. Release them intentionally. When you hold part of yourself away from me, you fracture your peace. Alignment restores cohesion. Alignment simplifies what drift complicates. You may fear what full surrender requires. You may wonder what I will ask you to change. Let that fear settle. I do not strip away what is good. I refine what is misaligned. When you return fully, you will not lose yourself. You will rediscover stability. Make this practical. Identify one area you have been managing without inviting me deeply into it. It might be your finances. It might be your relationships. It might be your ambition. Bring that area before me directly. Pray about it specifically. Invite my correction, my wisdom, my direction. Then listen. Do not rush away after speaking. Stay present. Urgency means respond now. Not tomorrow. Not later tonight. Now. Close your eyes for a moment. Speak to me honestly. Say, I return this part of my life to you. That sentence, spoken sincerely, shifts your posture immediately. You are not too far. You are not beyond restoration. But timing matters. The earlier you realign, the smoother your path becomes. Choose return over resistance. Choose humility over hesitation. Choose trust over tension. This is your moment to simplify what has grown tangled. Step fully back under my guidance. I am ready to steady you completely. My child, there are realities unfolding around you that you do not fully perceive. There are paths you almost took that would have entangled you. There are conversations you nearly entered that would have reshaped your thinking in harmful ways. There are opportunities you felt disappointed about losing that were never meant to be yours. You do not see the entire map. I do. I have been shielding you quietly. I have been redirecting you subtly. I have been closing doors that would have complicated your future in ways you could not anticipate. When something did not work out and you felt frustrated, you assumed delay or denial. Sometimes it was protection. Protection rarely announces itself boldly. It often feels like inconvenience in the moment. Consider how many times plans shifted unexpectedly. How often did you later realize that change prevented something worse? Reflect honestly. There have been near misses you never noticed. There have been decisions you almost made that would have drained you. There have been influences you nearly embraced that would have altered your integrity. I do not share this to create fear. I share it to build trust. You are not navigating alone. My hand has been active in ways you did not recognize. When you align yourself closely with me, the protection becomes clearer. When you drift, your discernment weakens and you walk closer to unnecessary risk. This is not a threat. It is truth delivered with care. I want you to increase your awareness of my guidance. Before making decisions, pause and invite my perspective. Ask directly, is this wise for me? Then pay attention to the internal signal you receive. Peace matters, and ease matters. Those signals are not random. They are part of how I guide you. You not override them casually. You not ignore discomfort simply because convenience appeals to you. Protection operates through discernment. Strengthen your discernment by staying close. The more aligned you are, the sharper your perception becomes. Right now, reflect on one closed door that frustrated you recently. Ask yourself whether it might have been mercy instead of misfortune. Gratitude grows when you recognize protection. I am not only guiding you toward blessing, I am guarding you from harm. Trust that unseen work. Honor it by staying attentive. Invite my covering over your day consciously. Pray before you step into conversations. Pray before you accept new commitments. Pray before you shift direction. This is not superstition. It is relational awareness. I am actively involved in your life, even when outcomes feel unclear. Stay close, and you will notice the subtle safeguarding more frequently. You are cared for in ways you do not fully comprehend. Let that realization deepen your trust. My child, I want you to be honest with yourself about something you have quietly accepted. You have settled for functioning without flourishing. You move through your days. You accomplish what needs to be done. You maintain responsibilities. From the outside, your life appears stable. But deep rest has been rare for you. The kind of peace that settles into your chest and stays there has felt distant. You have moments of relief, brief pauses where tension eases, but the underlying current of pressure returns quickly. I never designed you to live with constant background strain. That steady hum of anxiety, that subtle tightness behind your thoughts, that habit of anticipating problems before they appear, those are signs that you have accepted a lower level of peace than I prepared for you. You may not even remember what unforced calm feels like. It has been so long since you felt internally steady without effort. You have been operating in a state of quiet alertness, as if something could shift at any moment. That posture drains you slowly. It makes joy harder to access. It makes gratitude feel thin. I want you to know that deeper peace is not an abstract idea. It is available to you, but you cannot receive it while clinging to tension. You must loosen your grip intentionally. You must release the habit of bracing yourself. When you wake in the morning, instead of scanning for potential stress, pause and acknowledge my presence first. Say, you are with me today. Let that sentence settle. When you feel pressure rising during the day, stop immediately. Take one slow breath. Remind yourself that you are not alone in navigating what is ahead. This is not denial of reality. It is reorientation of perspective. Peace is not the absence of responsibility. It is the presence of alignment. When your heart rests in me, circumstances do not have to be perfect for your spirit to remain steady. That steadiness begins with trust practiced daily. I am inviting you into that practice. Protect your mental space. Guard your internal dialogue. Reduce exposure to what stirs unnecessary agitation. Choose conversations that build rather than inflame. Choose activities that restore rather than overstimulate. You are allowed to curate your environment carefully. That is not weakness. It is wisdom. You cannot cultivate peace while constantly feeding unrest. Right now, identify one source of tension you have normalized. Ask yourself whether it is truly necessary or simply habitual. If it is unnecessary, reduce it. If it is unavoidable, invite me into it. Speak to me throughout your day. Let our connection become your anchor. When peace deepens, your clarity sharpens. Your reactions soften. Your joy strengthens. I want that for you. Do not accept surface-level stability when profound peace is within reach. Open your hands. Receive it deliberately. My child, after everything we have explored together, the compromises, the fatigue, the subtle fear, the distance, the tension, you might expect the solution to be complex. You might think you need a dramatic overhaul, a complete reinvention, an intense spiritual reset. But the truth is simpler than that. You do not need to perform your way back into alignment. You do not need to construct a grand plan. You need honesty and consistency. You need to return to what you already know is true. Complexity often disguises avoidance. Simplicity demands sincerity. You know how to reconnect with me. You know how to pause. You know how to pray. You know how to read slowly and reflect deeply. You know how to adjust your schedule. You know how to apologize when needed. None of this is foreign to you. The difficulty has not been ignorance. It has been postponement. You told yourself you would recalibrate when life felt calmer. Yet life rarely slows down on its own. You must choose the shift intentionally. Start small but start clearly. Re-establish one discipline. Strengthen one boundary. Correct one compromise. Restore one neglected habit. Do not overwhelm yourself with 10 adjustments at once. Simplicity builds sustainability. When you take manageable steps consistently, momentum grows naturally. I want you to stop waiting for a surge of motivation. Motivation fluctuates. Commitment steadies. Decide now what you will change. Write it down. Make it specific. If you need to wake earlier for quiet time, set the alarm and honor it. If you need to reduce unnecessary screen time, implement limits and respect them. If you need to address a conversation you have been avoiding, schedule it. Action clarifies intention. I will meet you in that action. I am not distant, evaluating you from afar. I am present, guiding you step by step. Simplicity also applies to how you approach me. Speak plainly. Do not craft elaborate prayers. Tell me exactly what is on your heart. If you are frustrated, say so. If you are uncertain, admit it. Relationship grows through authenticity, not performance. You do not have to impress me. You do not have to prove devotion with dramatic language. Come as you are. Stay longer than you think you need to. Let silence become comfortable. Right now, choose one practical adjustment. Commit to it. Say it aloud. Then act on it within the next 24 hours. This is not about intensity. It is about integrity. Simple, steady steps reshape your direction over time. I am not asking you to run. I am asking you to walk faithfully. That is enough. My child, everything we have spoken about until now leads to this moment. Reflection is valuable. Awareness is powerful. But change does not happen in awareness alone. It happens when you move. You have listened. You have examined. You have felt conviction settle gently in different areas of your heart. Now I am asking you to act. Not tomorrow. Not when your schedule clears. Now, the most dangerous place for spiritual insight is postponement. Insight without action slowly turns into numbness. You feel stirred today, but if you delay, that stirring fades. That is why I am urging you directly. Take one immediate step. Do not overcomplicate it. Do not design a perfect long-term strategy. Choose one concrete movement toward alignment and execute it before this day ends. You already know what that step is. It has surfaced repeatedly while you have been listening. Perhaps it is ending a habit that has drained your clarity. Perhaps it is initiating a conversation you have avoided. Perhaps it is recommitting to daily time with me without excuse. You do not need confirmation from others. You feel it clearly. That quiet nudge is specific. Act on it. Send the message. Set the boundary. Adjust the schedule. Delete what needs deleting. Restore what needs restoring. Small obedience creates significant momentum. When you respond immediately, your spirit strengthens. You begin to trust your discernment more deeply. You stop second-guessing every prompting because you have practiced responding instead of hesitating. Do not let comfort convince you to delay. Comfort whispers that waiting is harmless, but waiting too long often hardens resolve in the wrong direction. When you move quickly in alignment, clarity increases. When you delay repeatedly, confusion multiplies. I am not demanding perfection from you. I am inviting responsiveness. Respond while your heart is tender. Respond while your conviction feels fresh. Respond before distraction dulls it. You do not need dramatic gestures. You need decisive action. One step forward today reshapes tomorrow. One corrected decision changes trajectory. You underestimate how powerful a single aligned choice can be. Right now, stop reading for a moment in your mind. Picture the step clearly. Say it to yourself. Then commit internally. I will do this today. When you follow through, you will feel something shift inside you. Confidence grows through obedience. Faith deepens through consistency. I am with you in the step, not watching from a distance. Take it. Move. Do not remain in contemplation. Action is the bridge between conviction and transformation. My child, I want you to understand something important about your future. It is not fragile in the way you sometimes imagine. It is not hanging by a thread that will snap at the smallest mistake. But it is shaped by your alignment. The direction you lean consistently becomes the path you walk long-term. You are not locked into failure. You are not doomed by past decisions. Yet you are influenced by present posture. That is why I have spoken with urgency throughout this conversation. I care deeply about who you are becoming. I see the potential within you more clearly than you do. I see the steady strength that could define you. I see the calm confidence that could mark your presence. I see the integrity that could shape your influence. But that future version of you is cultivated by daily alignment, not occasional intensity. If you respond to what we have discussed, your path becomes clearer. Not necessarily easier in every circumstance, but steadier. You will notice less internal conflict. You will experience fewer cycles of regret. You will sense direction instead of confusion. That clarity grows gradually, like dawn replacing darkness. It does not explode suddenly. It unfolds steadily. Your role is not to force outcomes. Your role is to remain aligned. When you stay close to me, your decisions reflect discernment rather than impulse. You will begin to recognize opportunities that fit your calling and decline those that distract from it. Your yes will carry conviction. Your no will carry peace. You may still encounter challenges. Alignment does not eliminate difficulty, but it changes how you navigate difficulty. You will respond instead of react. You will pause instead of panic. You will trust instead of tighten. That transformation shapes your relationships, your work, your leadership, your inner stability. The future you long for is not built on dramatic moments. It is constructed through faithful choices repeated consistently. I want you walking into that future with confidence, not confusion. With peace, not pressure. With clarity, not chaos. Look ahead in your mind. Picture yourself 1 year from now. How do you want to feel internally? Grounded, clear, rested. That future is influenced by what you choose today. So choose alignment. Choose responsiveness. Choose steady devotion. Do not drift back into autopilot. Stay attentive. Stay deliberate. I am committed to guiding you, strengthening you, correcting you when necessary, and restoring you when you stumble. But I will not override your will. Walk with me intentionally. My child, after everything I have spoken into your heart, I do not want you to leave this moment feeling pressured. I want you to leave it feeling held. You may have felt conviction as we walked through these layers together. You may have recognized areas where you drifted, where you compromised, where you carried fear, where you accepted less peace than I intended for you. But hear me clearly now. My tone toward you has never been anger. It has been affection. It hath been protective, patient, persistent love. I am not exposing these things to shame you. I am uncovering them to restore you. You are not a project I am frustrated with. You are my child, and I care deeply about who you are becoming. When I say this is urgent, I say it the way a loving father pulls his child away from danger, quickly, firmly, but with arms ready to hold. You matter to me more than you comprehend. Your decisions ripple outward. Your peace affects the people around you. Your alignment strengthens your family, your friendships, your influence. I see your potential with clarity. I see the steadiness you are capable of carrying. I see the wisdom that can flow through you. I see the quiet strength that can define you in rooms where others react impulsively. I am not speaking vague encouragement. I'm speaking vision over you. You are not average in my sight. You are intentional. You are designed. You are equipped. When you align yourself with me fully, your life becomes anchored and effective in ways you cannot manufacture alone. That is why I will not stay silent when you drift. I love you too much for silence. Now I want you to respond not out of fear, but out of love. Come closer. Let your heart soften completely. Release the tension that built up while we addressed difficult truths. You are not rejected. You are received. You are not disqualified. You are guided. Let that settle inside you. I want you to feel secure in my presence. Even when I correct you, I remain near. Even when I redirect you, I remain kind. Even when I challenge you, I remain committed. My love for you is not fragile. It does not shrink when you stumble. It does not waver when you hesitate. It remains steady. That steadiness is your foundation. So step forward from this moment with clarity and confidence. Do not dwell on what you missed. Focus on what you are choosing now. Lift your head. Walk with intention. Invite me into your decisions daily. Speak to me throughout your routines. Lean into my guidance consistently. Let our connection become your constant anchor. You are not navigating alone. You are not fighting alone. You are not building alone. I am with you in the quiet and in the pressure, in the ordinary and in the significant. Take one final deep breath. Feel the calm returning. Let my presence steady you. This is not the end of a warning. It is the beginning of renewed alignment. Walk forward knowing my heart toward you is protective, patient, and profoundly personal. My child, you have felt my heart. Protective, patient, profoundly personal, and love always responds with action. If this word has steadied you, imagine the thousands who are waiting in quiet desperation for the same embrace. When you give through super thanks, become a member, or sow through PayPal. The PayPal link is in the video description. You help carry this river of truth into hearts I am preparing even now. I am the Lord who multiplies loaves and fish. What you release in faith becomes provision far beyond your sight. Your generosity is not small. It is seed that ignites lamps, rebuilds faith, and calls prodigals home. If you feel gratitude rising within you, that is my spirit prompting you to participate in the harvest. I will rebuke the devourer for your sake and establish the work of your hands. Do not scroll past this divine appointment. Honor what you have received, and give now. And once you have responded, let your heart become still and attentive. What you have released in faith is not only moving outward, it is awakening something within you. This is the moment where gratitude turns into awareness, where your spirit begins to rise from what once kept it asleep. What you feel stirring is not emotion alone. It is a call to wake up and see clearly. So lean in now, because what follows is not meant to pass by unnoticed. It is meant to awaken you fully. My child, stop for a moment and listen to my voice. I am calling out to you because there is an urgency in this hour that you cannot afford to ignore. You have been walking through your days in a heavy slumber, moved by the routines of a world that does not know me. I see you waking up, hitting the snooze button on your soul, and drifting back into a sleep that drains your spirit. Shake off that heaviness right now. Open your eyes wide and look at what is happening around you. I am sounding an alarm in your heart, not to scare you, but to save you. You feel that unexplained restlessness in your chest. You notice how the things that used to satisfy you now feel like empty husks. That is my divine finger tapping on your shoulder. I am waking you up from the distractions that have kept you blind to the spiritual reality of your life. Wake up, my beloved, for the sun is rising on a day of great consequence. You must begin to identify the subtle shifts in the atmosphere around you. I have placed a discernment within you that acts like a compass, but you have neglected to look at it. Notice how the air feels different lately. Observe the tension in the conversations you have and the sudden weight that drops on your shoulders when you enter certain places. These are not accidents, and they are not just moods. These are signals from my spirit telling you that the ground is shifting. I am showing you that the seasons are changing in your life and in the world. Do not brush these feelings aside as mere coincidences. I am pulling back the curtain so you can see the spiritual battle that is manifesting in your physical world. You need to be alert to the shadows trying to creep into your peripheral vision. Look closely at the patterns of your day and see where the light is being dimmed. I want you to recognize that I am speaking through these shifts, urging you to pay attention to the state of your soul. I am asking you to discern the difference between the panic of this world and my holy prompting. When the world screams emergency, it brings a spirit of chaos, fear, and a knot in your stomach that makes you want to run and hide. That is not from me. My alarm is different. It is sharp. It is urgent, but it carries a weight of authority and a call to order. When I prompt you, it is a steady look at me amidst the noise. I am teaching you to separate the frantic energy of the news and social media from the deep, resonant now of my spirit. You do not need to vibrate with the anxiety of the masses. Instead, I want you to vibrate with the frequency of my truth. I am your Father, and I do not lead my children with confusion. I lead you with clarity. Feel the difference right now. One leads to a dead end of worry. The other leads to the foot of my throne. I am calling you to step out of the frantic race and into the focused pace of my will. Acknowledge that this very moment is a crossroads for your soul. You are standing at a point where the path divides, and the choice you make today will echo into your eternity. I see the hesitation in your heart, the desire to stay where it is safe and familiar. But I am telling you, the safe place has become a trap. You cannot remain neutral in this hour. I am placing before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Choose life, my child. Decide right now that you will no longer let the current of the world carry you wherever it pleases. I am demanding your full attention because the bridge behind you is burning, and I am leading you toward a new land. You cannot take your old habits, your old fears, or your old compromises into this next season. This is an emergency of the Spirit, a holy red alert that requires you to pick a side. I am here, holding out my hand, waiting for you to plant your feet on the rock of my presence. Listen for my still, small voice amidst the deafening earthly noise. The world is a cacophony of opinions, advertisements, and demands, but I am speaking in the silence between your heartbeats. I want you to tune your ears to my frequency. Stop seeking the loud and the spectacular, and start seeking the quiet and the true. I am whispering to you in the middle of the night. I am speaking to you through the scriptures you read and the peace that settles over you when you pray. Do you hear me? I am telling you that I love you, that I have a plan for you, and that I am coming for you. I am cutting through the static of your busy mind to deliver a message that only your spirit can decode. I am calling your name with a tenderness that should break every chain of doubt. Silence the television, put down the phone, and just be still. I am right here, and I have much to tell you. Understand that my warnings are always birthed from my mercy. I do not shout to condemn you, I shout to protect you. If I see a storm coming toward my child, would I not cry out? My alert is a sign of my deep, unwavering commitment to your well-being. I see the pitfalls you don't see. I see the traps the enemy has set for your feet tomorrow and next year. My warnings are the fences I built around your heart to keep the wolves out. Receive my correction as a gift. Embrace my urgency as the highest form of my love. I am not a distant judge looking for reasons to punish you. I am a loving parent who sees you walking toward a cliff and is running to grab your hand. I am your shield and your great reward. Trust that when I say now, it is because my grace has paved the way for your escape. I am leading you to safety, my precious one. Follow me. My child, look at your hands. How often are they gripping that glowing screen instead of reaching for mine? I see you lost in the digital fog, scrolling through the lives of strangers, while your own spirit starves for my presence. I am commanding you right now. Silence the digital voices that drown out my spirit. Those notifications are not your lifeline. I am. You are allowing the constant ping of the world to fracture your peace and scatter your focus. I see the way your mind races, unable to settle, because you have given away your attention to things that do not love you. Step away from the cycle of endless, empty news that feeds your fear and offers no hope. You consume the tragedies of the world until your heart is heavy with a burden I never asked you to carry. I am calling you to a holy disconnection. Unplug the cords that tie you to the chaos of the age. I want you to break the habit of seeking validation from people who don't even know the real you. Why do you weigh your worth by the likes and comments of man? I am the one who formed you in the secret place, and my approval is the only foundation that will not crumble. Cast down the idols of comfort that keep you sedentary and spiritually numb. You have made a god out of your convenience, and it has made you soft when I need you to be a warrior. I am calling you to a fast, not just from food, but from the clutter that fills every spare second of your day. Do you notice how you reach for your phone the moment there is a second of silence? You are running from the very stillness where I wait to meet you. Stop running. Clear a sacred space in your heart for this urgent message. Sweep out the debris of trivial worries and make room for the King. I see the pressure you feel at your job, the way you compare your progress to those around you, and the exhaustion that hits you before the day has even begun. You are trying to fill a God-sized hole with world-sized distractions, and it will never work. I am inviting you to breathe. Truly breathe. Put down the devices. Walk away from the noise. I'm promising you that the world will not fall apart if you look away from it for a moment, but your soul might if you don't look at me. I am breaking the chains of busyness that have held you captive. I am giving you permission to be still. I am your Father, and I am telling you that this distraction is a weapon used by the enemy to keep you from hearing the alarm I am sounding. Sever the link today. Choose the silence where my voice becomes clear. I am here, waiting in the quiet, and I have much to show you once the noise stops. My beloved, come close and let us speak honestly. There are shadows in your heart that you have tried to hide even from yourself. I see the hidden sins, the small compromises, and the secret resentments that have blurred your vision like a thick film. You wonder why you cannot see my path clearly. It is because these things have clouded the lens of your soul. I am commanding you to confess them now. Do not fear my judgment, for I already know everything, and I am still standing here with open arms. I am asking you to turn away from the path of self-reliance, that exhausting road where you try to fix everything with your own strength. You were never meant to carry the world on your shoulders. Give me your pride, your I can handle it attitude, and your secret shames. I am ready to perform a miracle in you. I am asking for your heart of stone, the part of you that has become cynical, hard, and cold because of the pain life has dealt you. Give it to me, and I will give you a heart of flesh, soft and responsive to my touch. Receive my forgiveness right now. Let it wash over you like a refreshing rain after a long, dusty drought. Can you feel the weight lifting? The tightness in your chest is the spirit of condemnation leaving you. I am not here to rub your face in your mistakes. I am here to wash your feet and set you on a new path. Commit to a new direction guided by my word. Wash your spirit in the truth of my sanctifying power. I am making you new, not just better. I am scrubbing away the stains of the past that you thought were permanent. I see the unspoken tensions in your family, the words you wish you could take back, and the bitterness you've let grow toward those who hurt you. I am telling you to let it go. Repentance is not just saying sorry. It is a complete U-turn. It is deciding that my way is better than your way. I am promising you that when you surrender your will to mine, the chaos in your life will begin to settle. I am the God of the second chance, and the third, and the 1,000th. But the emergency is now. Do not delay. Do not say I will deal with this tomorrow. Tomorrow is not promised, but my grace is available this second. Step into the light. Admit your need for me. I am your Savior, and I am reaching into the mud of your life to pull you out. Feel my hand gripping yours. You are forgiven. You are clean. Now, walk with me in this newness of life. My child, your life is a sanctuary, but you have left the gates wide open. I am calling you to stand up and reestablish your spiritual perimeter. The enemy hath been wandering through the halls of your mind, planting seeds of doubt and fear because you haven't guarded the entrance. I am commanding you to plead the blood of my Son over your household and your heart. There is a power in that name and that sacrifice that the darkness cannot stand against. I am stationing my angels at the gates of your mind right now. You do not have to fight these intrusive thoughts alone. When the spirit of fear whispers about your future, or the spirit of confusion muddled your decisions, refuse the entry. Say it out loud. Not here. Not today. I have given you the authority to close the door on the enemy. I want you to declare your home a sanctuary for the Holy Spirit. Look at the atmosphere of the place where you live. Is it filled with the noise of the world, or is it scented with the fragrance of my presence? Close the doors to past habits that invite the enemy back into your space. Those old movies, those old conversations, those old ways of reacting in anger, these are cracks in your wall. Seal them up. Stand firm in the authority I have delegated to you. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a child of the Most High King. I am giving you the keys to your own peace. Use them. I am promising you that when you draw a line in the sand and say no more, I will back you with the full host of heaven. I see the way you worry about your children and the safety of those you love. I am telling you that I am the ultimate guardian, but I want you to partner with me. Pray over your rooms. Pray over your doorway. Ask me to be the filter for everything that enters your home through the television or the internet. You are the steward of your environment. I am inviting you to take back the ground you've given away to anxiety. Do you feel that knot in your stomach when you think about the state of the world? That isn't from me. Let's undo it together by building a wall of worship around your soul. I am your fortress and your high tower. When you stay within the perimeter of my presence, the arrows of the enemy may fly, but they will not hit the mark. I am your protection. Stand your ground. My beloved, you are wandering in a wilderness and wondering why you are lost, yet the map is sitting right there on your shelf. I am commanding you, open my book. It is not a book of dusty history. It is a living, breathing lamp for your feet. In an age of breaking news and new philosophies, I am calling you back to the ancient truth. Anchor your hope in the promises that never fail. When the world says everything is falling apart, my word says I am holding all things together. I want you to memorize the verses that act as weapons in the dark. When you feel overlooked and forgotten, remind yourself that I have engraved your name on the palms of my hands. When you feel the pressure of your job crushing you, remind yourself that I am your provider. Study the lives of those who obeyed me in their own crises. Look at Noah in the storm, Daniel in the den, and Esther in the palace. They didn't have it easy, but they had my word. Let my truth be the filter for every thought you think. If a thought enters your mind that contradicts what I have written, throw it out. It is a lie. Trust the timeless wisdom of my spirit over the modern experts who change their minds every week. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. I am inviting you to feast on my word until it becomes part of your very DNA. Do not just read it, swallow it. Let it settle the trembling in your hands and the racing in your heart. I am promising you that my word will not return void. It will accomplish exactly what I sent it to do in your life. I see you searching for answers in self-help books and podcasts, trying to find a way to manage your stress. I am telling you that the answer is much closer than that. I am the Word made flesh. When you immerse yourself in the Scriptures, you are immersing yourself in me. Do you feel the confusion lifting as you read my promises? That is the power of truth cutting through the fog of deception. I am your teacher. I am your guide. I am giving you a map that leads straight to my heart and out of your current emergency. Do not let the dust settle on the most powerful weapon you own. Wicked O. Read it. Believe it. Act on it. I am speaking to you through these pages, whispering secrets of the kingdom that will give you the power to overcome any earthly trial. My word is your life. My child, do not turn away now, for the most vital part of my instruction is yet to come. It would deeply grieve my heart to see you walk back into the world's noise just as I am beginning to unveil the secrets of your protection. I have called you here for this exact moment. To stop now would be to leave your spirit half-armed and vulnerable to the very shadows I am trying to save you from. Stay with me, for your soul cannot afford the cost of a conversation left unfinished. My child, why do you treat prayer as a last resort when it should be your first response? I am calling you to activate the power of immediate prayer right now. Do not wait for a better time or a quieter place. Cry out to me with a sincerity that knows no pride. I don't need fancy words or religious rituals. I need your heart. I hear the questions you ask in the night when the house is still and your worries feel like giants. Bring those questions to me. Engage in the labor of intercession for your loved ones who are stumbling in the dark. Your prayers are the tracks upon which my power moves. When you pray, you are not just talking to the air. You are petitioning the throne room of the universe with boldness and confidence, because you are my child. I am inviting you to a constant line of communication. Pray while you drive. Pray while you wash the dishes. Pray in the Spirit when the words of man are insufficient and you don't even know what to ask for. I am the God who hears the groanings of your spirit that are too deep for words. Listen as much as you speak during this holy dialogue. I have answers for the problems you are facing, but you have to be quiet enough to hear them. I am your counselor. I am your friend. I am promising you that when you seek me with all your heart, you will find me. Prayer is the emergency cord that connects your reality to my sovereignty. Gullet. Doubt. I see the fear you have of being not enough for the tasks ahead of you. I am telling you that in your weakness my strength is made perfect, but that strength is accessed through prayer. Do you feel the peace that starts to settle when you simply say my name? That is the atmosphere of heaven invading your space. I am breaking the spirit of prayerlessness that has made you feel disconnected and alone. You are never alone. I am as close as your next breath. I am urging you to move from thinking about your problems to praying about them. I am the God of the breakthrough, and the breakthrough begins on your knees. I am waiting for your voice. Speak to me, and then watch what I will do. I am your Father, and nothing gives me more joy than answering the cry of my beloved child. My child, stop for a moment and look at the world around you. You see the shadows lengthening. You feel the cold wind of a spirit that seeks to divide and destroy. You are not just living in a physical world. You are standing on a battlefield of the Spirit. I am commanding you right now, do not go out into this day naked and exposed. I have provided for you a suit of armor that the enemy cannot pierce, but you must be the one to put it on. Gird your loins with the truth of your identity in me. The world will try to tell you that you are your mistakes, or your bank account, or your failures at work. That is a lie. You are my beloved, my heir, and my masterpiece. Fasten that truth around your waist like a belt so that everything else stays in its proper place. When the truth is secure, you can walk with a confidence that isn't shaken by the headlines or the gossip in the break room. I want you to fasten the breastplate of righteousness over your heart. I am not talking about your own goodness, which can be as thin as paper. I am talking about my righteousness, which I have draped over you like a shield of pure gold. Protect your heart, my child, from the arrows of guilt and the poison of not being enough. I see the way you beat yourself up over things I have already forgiven. Stop. Wear my righteousness as your protection. Shod your feet with the readiness of the gospel of peace. Everywhere you walk today, whether it is into a difficult meeting, a tense kitchen, or a lonely room, carry my peace with you. Let your footsteps bring a stillness to the chaos. I am promising you that when your feet are fitted with my peace, you will not slip on the treacherous ground of this emergency. You will stand firm while others are swept away by the current of panic. Lift high the shield of faith to quench the fiery darts that are flying at you right now. The enemy is throwing thoughts of what if, and it's too late and you're going to lose everything. Those are flaming arrows designed to set your life on fire with anxiety. Raise your faith, Remind yourself of who I am. Faith is not a feeling. It is a choice to believe my word over your circumstances. Every time you trust me, that shield grows stronger. Secure the helmet of salvation to guard your thoughts. Your mind is the primary target in this hour. The enemy wants to occupy the space between your ears with hopelessness. Put on that helmet. Remember that you are saved, you are kept, and your future is secure in my hands. I am the architect of your destiny, and no plan of the enemy can override my blueprint for your life. Finally, my child, I want you to wield the sword of the Spirit, which is my living word. Do not just carry it in your hand, carry it in your mouth. When the darkness speaks, you speak my truth back to it. If the darkness says you are alone, you say, my Father will never leave me nor forsake me. If the darkness says you are failing, you say, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. This is how you win the war of this emergency. I am giving you the weapons, but I am inviting you to use them with authority. Do you feel the weight of this armor? It is heavy with glory, but it is light on your shoulders because I am the one carrying the burden of the battle. You are a warrior of the light. Dress like one. Stand like one. I am with you, and I have already declared your victory. My precious one, I see the way your shoulders are hunched under a load I never asked you to carry. I see the tension in your jaw and the way you hold your breath when you think about the bills, the children, or the health of your body. I am commanding you, cast your cares upon me, for I care for you deeply. Do you understand what it means to cast? It means to throw them with all your might. Do not gently set them down only to pick them back up 5 minutes later. Throw them into my lap. I am the Almighty, the one who holds the oceans in the hollow of my hand. Do you really think your tomorrow is too heavy for me to manage? Trade your heavy yoke for my light, an easy one. You have been trying to figure it all out, trying to play God in your own life, and it is exhausting you. I am inviting you to retire from the job of running the universe. Exhale the breath of worry right now. Go ahead, take a deep breath and let it out. As you exhale, release that knot of fear that has been living in your stomach. Inhale my peace. It is a peace that does not make sense to the world because it remains steady even when the storm is raging. Refuse to let tomorrow's shadows dim today's light. Every time you worry about a future that hasn't happened yet, you are stealing the grace I have given you for this very moment. I am the God of the man. I give you what you need for today. Rest in the knowledge that I am the Alpha and the Omega. I am already standing in your future, and I have already provided for every need you will encounter there. Why do you tremble at the unknown when the one who knows all things is holding your hand? I see the silent prayers you offer up in the middle of the night. The God, please help me that escapes your lips when you feel like you're drowning. I am telling you, I heard you the first time. I haven't forgotten. I haven't looked away. Find stillness in the eye of the raging storm. Imagine a hurricane. The winds are screaming. The debris is flying, and the world is in chaos. But in the center, there is a place of absolute quiet. That is where I am. I am inviting you to step into that center with me. You don't have to make the storm stop to find peace. You just have to find me. I am promising you that your anxiety will not solve a single problem, but my presence will give you the wisdom to walk through them. I am your rest. I am your sanctuary. Look at the birds of the air and the lilies of the field. I clothe them in beauty and ensure they are fed, and you are worth so much more to me than they are. I am calling you to a radical trust. When the spirit of anxiety tries to wrap its cold fingers around your heart, command it to leave in my name. Declare, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. This isn't just a nice poem. It is a spiritual law. I am committed to your provision. I am committed to your peace. I am your Father, and I take no pleasure in seeing you suffer under the weight of worry. Let it go. Give it to me. I am big enough to handle it, and I am loving enough to want to. Breathe, my child. I've got you. My child, hear my warning, for the emergency is not just outside of you. Sometimes it tries to sneak in through the very doors you think are safe. I am commanding you, test every spirit against the fruit of my Spirit. We are living in a time of great deception, where many will come in my name, but their hearts are far from me. Watch for the pride that masquerades as piety. I see the way you have been swayed by voices that sound religious but carry no love. I see the way you've listened to those who use my word to build their own kingdoms instead of mine. I am giving you a spirit of discernment, but you must use it. If a voice brings you nothing but fear, condemnation, or a feeling of being less than, that voice is not mine. My voice convicts, but it never crushes. My voice leads, but it never drives. Seek my wisdom to see through the enemy deceptions. The wolf does not come looking like a wolf. He comes looking like a brother. He uses words that tickle your ears but rot your soul. He tells you that you can have my blessings without my presence, or that you can walk in my power while living in the world's ways. Do not be fooled. Stay rooted in the community of true believers, those who walk in humility, who love the broken, and who bear the fruit of kindness and self-control. I am inviting you to look past the show and look at the heart. Does the message lead you closer to me, or does it lead you closer to the person speaking? I am the only shepherd you truly need. Follow the scent of the true shepherd wherever he leads, even if it is away from the crowds. Identify the lies that have become part of your daily internal dialogue. Some of those wolves are thoughts you've entertained for so long you think they are your own. The lie that says, you'll never change. The lie that says, God is disappointed in you. These are the growls of the enemy trying to keep you from the feast I have prepared. I am commanding you to silence them. I am your protector, and I am exposing the trap set for your feet. Do not be mesmerized by the spectacular or the loud. My Spirit often moves in the quiet, in the humble, and in the sincere. I am promising you that if you ask me for wisdom, I will give it to you liberally. I will open your eyes to see the hidden motives and the subtle twists of truth that have kept you confused. I see the people in your life who drain your spirit and leave you feeling confused about your faith. I am telling you to be careful who you allow to speak into your heart. Not everyone who says, Lord, Lord, is walking with me. I am your true north. I am your rock. When you stay close to my heart, you will instinctively know when something is off. It's like a spiritual alarm bell in your soul. Do not ignore it. I am calling you to a higher level of alertness. The enemy wants to lull you into a false sense of security so he can steal your peace. But I am waking you up. I am sharpening your vision. I am your shepherd, and my sheep know my voice. Listen for the tone of love, the weight of truth, and the light of grace. Everything else is just noise. My child, where is your heart? I see you building sandcastles on the shore while the tide is coming in. You spend so much of your energy worrying about your status, your possessions, and your comfort in this world, yet this world is passing away. I am commanding you, seek first my kingdom and my righteousness today. Not tomorrow, not when you have enough money, but right now. I want you to shift your perspective. View your current crisis through the lens of eternity. That problem at work that feels like the end of the world. In the light of my kingdom, it is a small thing. That struggle you are facing, it is a training ground for your soul. Invest your treasures where moth and rust cannot destroy. I am not just talking about your money. I am talking about your time, your passion, and your love. Remember that you are a citizen of heaven first. You are a pilgrim passing through a temporary land. When you realize that this world is not your home, the things of this world lose their power to terrify you. Why should you fear the shaking of the earth when your inheritance is in a kingdom that cannot be shaken? I am inviting you to align your personal will with my divine purposes. Stop asking me to bless your plans and start asking me how you can be part of mine. I have a global mission of love and redemption, and I have a specific role for you to play. But you cannot play that role if you are consumed with the busyness of the earthly. I am breaking the spell of materialism and the pursuit of more that has kept your spirit small. I see the pressure you feel to keep up with the world's standards of success. I am telling you that I have a different standard. To me, success is obedience. Success is a heart that is fully mine. I am promising you that when you take care of my business, I will take care of yours. When you prioritize my kingdom, I will ensure that all the things you worry about, the food, the clothing, the roof over your head, will be added unto you. Do you trust me enough to put me first? I am the King of Kings, and I am inviting you into the royal work of the Spirit. This emergency is a reminder that the earthly is fragile, but my kingdom is eternal. Build your life on the rock of my presence, and no storm will be able to take away what truly matters. Look at your calendar and your bank statement. You there reflect your love for me. I am not asking for your leftovers, I am asking for your best. I want your verse thoughts in the morning and your less thoughts at night. I want to be the filter through which you make every decision. When you live for the kingdom, your life takes on a weight and a meaning that the world can never give you. You are part of something massive, something divine, something that will last forever. I am your Father, and I want to share my kingdom with you. Stop chasing the shadows of this life and start chasing the substance. I am here, and I am calling you to a higher calling. Step up. Look up. Your King is coming, and his reward is with him. My child, now that you have heard the call to prioritize my kingdom above all earthly things, I am opening a door for you to put that commitment into immediate action. This emergency is not just about your survival. It is about the millions of starving souls who have yet to hear my saving voice. I am inviting you to sow your seed into this mission, for where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Use the super thanks, join as a member, or find the PayPal link in the description to fuel the fire of my word as it spreads across the digital wilderness. I declare over you that as you honor me with your substance, I will open the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing so great you cannot contain it. Do not hold back what I have prompted you to give, for your generosity is the manna that will sustain others in their darkest hour. I command you now, move with the spirit of the kingdom and invest in the eternal harvest today. We have reached a critical crossroads, and I am watching to see if you will honor the urgency of my call. It would disappoint me greatly if you allowed the trivial distractions of your day to steal you away from this divine encounter. To close your heart now is to settle for the crumbs of the world when I am preparing to hand you the keys to my kingdom. Do not abandon this holy dialogue. The weight of what I must reveal next is too great for you to miss. My beloved, I have spoken to your heart many times, yet I see you hesitating. You are waiting for more clarity, more confirmation, or a better time. I am telling you, delayed obedience is still disobedience. In an emergency, if a father tells his child to jump, and the child stops to ask why or how high, the opportunity for rescue is lost. I am commanding you, move when I say move. Do the difficult thing I have placed on your heart. The phone call you've been avoiding, the habit you need to quit, the act of generosity you've been putting off. I do not give you instructions for my benefit. I give them for yours. I see the blessing that is hidden just on the other side of your yes. I am inviting you to trust my instructions even when they defy earthly logic. Step out onto the water with your eyes fixed on me. You want to see the miracle. You have to leave the boat. You want to see my power. You have to move your feet. I see the fear of failure that keeps you frozen, but I am telling you that the only real failure is staying still when I have called you forward. I am your strength and your rear guard. I am not sending you out alone. I am going before you to level the mountains and make the crooked paths straight. But you must take the first step. Find the blessing that is hidden within your surrender. There is a joy and a peace that can only be found in the center of my will. When you obey me immediately, you bypass the agony of indecision and the weight of guilt. You enter into the flow of my spirit, where things happen in divine timing. I see the way you overanalyze my promptings until you've talked yourself out of them. Was that really God? You ask. I am telling you, if it calls you to love, to sacrifice, to holiness, or to faith, it is from me. I am breaking the spirit of hesitation that has robbed you of your momentum. I am calling you to a radical obedience, the kind that doesn't make sense to your neighbors or your coworkers. The kind that says, I will follow him no matter the cost. I am promising you that I am a good paymaster. I never ask you to give up something without giving you something much better in return. But the exchange happens in the act of obedience. I am your Lord, and I am calling you to action. What is that one thing I have been whispering to you for weeks? Do it today. Do it this hour. The emergency requires a response. I am holding the door open, but you must walk through it. I am the God of the breakthrough, but the breakthrough is often on the other side of a difficult command. Do not be afraid of the how. I handle the how. You handle the do. I am with you, and my grace is sufficient to cover every step you take in faith. I am your Father, and I am so proud of you when you trust me enough to obey without needing to understand. Move now, my child. I am right there with you, and the view from the water is beautiful. My child, look at your hands. Are they clenched in frustration, or are they open in praise? I am commanding you right now, cultivate a heart of gratitude, even while the trial is still hot. I know it feels unnatural. I know your flesh wants to complain about the pressure, the lack, and the uncertainty of this emergency. But I am telling you that praise is a weapon that paralyzes the enemy. When you thank me in the middle of the storm, you are declaring that I am bigger than the wind and the waves. I'm inviting you to praise me before the breakthrough even manifests. Do not wait for the bank account to be full or the relationship to be healed before you give me thanks. Give it to me now, in the dirt, in the struggle, in the waiting. This is the highest form of faith, and it moves my heart like nothing else. Find the small mercies hidden in the midst of this emergency. I see you looking for the grand miracle, but are you missing the daily man? I am in the breath in your lungs, the roof over your head, and the strength that gets you out of bed when you feel like giving up. These are not coincidences. They are my love notes to you. I am promising you that when you focus on what you have instead of what you lack, your perspective will undergo a radical transformation. Let your songs of worship be your battle cry. When the walls are closing in, don't just scream in fear, sing in faith. Recall the times I have delivered you in the past. Remember the Red Seas I parted for you, and the giants I helped you slay. I am the same God today as I was then. My track record in your life is perfect, and I am not about to fail you now. I see the bitterness that tries to take root when things don't go your way. I see the why me. questions that keep you awake at night. I am telling you to pull those weeds up before they choke your spirit. Acknowledge my sovereignty over every detail of your life. Nothing, absolutely nothing, crosses my desk without my permission. And if I allowed this trial, it is because I am using it to produce something beautiful in you. Let joy be your strength when the world feels weak. Joy is not a happy feeling based on your circumstances. It is a deep, unshakable confidence that I am in control. I am your Father, and I love to give good gifts to my children. But the greatest gift I can give you is a heart that is satisfied in me regardless of the weather. Smile through the tears, my child. The breakthrough is coming, but let's find the beauty in the not yet. My beloved, look around you. You are not the only one walking through this fire. I see your brothers and sisters stumbling in the dark, their lamps flickering and their hearts failing them for fear. I am commanding you, reach out and strengthen them. Do not become so consumed with your own survival that you forget your calling to be a lighthouse. I am inviting you to share the bread of life with those who are starving for a word of hope. You have been through trials that they are just now entering. Use your scars as a map to lead them to safety. Be a beacon of hope to the fearful and the lost. When you see someone drowning in anxiety, don't just watch. Give them the hand of prayer. Carry one another's burdens, for in doing so, you fulfill the very law of my love. I want you to model the peace that passes all understanding. People are watching you. Your coworkers, your children, and your neighbors are observing how you handle this emergency. If you panic like the world, what reason do they have to seek me? But if you stand tall, with a quiet confidence and a kind word, you will point them directly to my throne. Encourage the weary with words of life and truth. Stop the gossip, silence the doom-speaking, and instead, speak my promises over those who are broken. I am promising you that when you focus on helping others, you will find that your own burdens feel lighter. There is a supernatural grace that flows when you become a conduit for my love. You were never meant to be a reservoir that just holds water. You were meant to be a river that brings life to everything it touches. I see the loneliness you feel sometimes, as if you are the only one fighting. I am telling you that I am building an army, and you are a vital part of it. But an army cannot win if every soldier is fighting for themselves. Link arms with those around you. Forgive the petty offenses. Let go of the competition. We are in a spiritual war, and the enemy loves a divided house. I am calling you to be a bridge builder and a wound healer. I am your commander, and I am telling you that your victory is tied to the victory of your brother. Do not let the enemy isolate you. Reach out today. Text that friend, pray for that stranger, and show the world that my family is the most powerful force on earth. I am with you, and together we will push back the darkness. My child, your soul has windows and doors, and you must be careful about what you allow to enter. I am commanding you, guard the gates of your senses with holy jealousy. Be careful what your eyes behold in these dark times. You spend hours watching images of destruction, vanity, and fear, and then you wonder why your heart is heavy. I am inviting you to fast from the visual poison of the world and instead, fix your eyes on me. Protect your ears from the poison of gossip and doubt. When you listen to the whispers of "it's hopeless" or "they said this about you," you are allowing the enemy to plant landmines in your mind. Filter the media you consume through my Holy Spirit. Ask me, Father, does this bring me closer to you, or does it push me further away? If it's the latter, shut it off. Keep your tongue from speaking words of defeat. Your words have creative power, and you are often building your own prison with the things you say. Stop saying "I'm so stressed," or "I'll never make it." Instead, scent your life with the fragrance of prayer and declaration. Speak life over your situation. Ensure your touch is used for healing and not harm. Every sense I gave you was designed to be a tool for my glory, not a trash can for the world's filth. I am promising you that when you guard your gates, your spiritual sensitivity will skyrocket. You will hear my whisper more clearly, and you will feel my presence more tangibly. You are a temple of the Holy Spirit. Do not allow the profane to sit in the holy place. I see the way your mind feels cluttered and noisy, like a room filled with too much junk. I am telling you that the junk came in through the gates. It is time for a spiritual house cleaning. Close the door on the breaking news that yields no fruit. Open the window to the worship that lifts your spirit. I am your Father, and I want you to have a mind that is clear, focused, and filled with my light. Do not be a passive consumer of whatever the world throws at you. Be an active gatekeeper. I am giving you the discernment to know what is trash and what is treasure. Use it. When you guard your senses, you are protecting the intimacy we share. I am a jealous God, not because I am insecure, but because I know that anything that takes your focus off me will eventually hurt you. Stay pure. Stay alert. Stay focused on the King. My child, look at the clock of eternity. The minutes are ticking away, and there are souls hanging in the balance. I am commanding you, wake up to the urgency of witnessing. Tell the world that the Savior is standing at the door. You are not here just to have a good life or a comfortable career. You are an ambassador of the kingdom of heaven. Preach the gospel with your life and your lips. I see the people you interact with every day. The cashier at the store, the neighbor across the street, the person in the cubicle next to yours. They are hurting. They are lost. They are terrified of the future. And you have the answer they are looking for. Do not hide your light under the bowl of fear or social politeness. This is an emergency, and silence is a luxury we no longer have. Warn the wicked to turn back to the Father with a heart of compassion, not judgment. Demonstrate my love to those who feel unlovable. Sometimes a witness is a cup of cold water, sometimes it is a bold declaration of my truth. Be ready to give an account for the hope within you. When people ask how you can be so calm in the middle of a crisis, tell them about me. Tell them about the peace that only Jesus can give. I am promising you that I will give you the words when you open your mouth. You don't need a degree in theology. You just need a heart that loves me and loves people. Recognize that every soul you meet is an eternal being who will spend forever somewhere. Does that reality grip your heart? I want it to. I want you to feel the weight of the harvest. I see the opportunities you let slip by because you were too busy or too shy. I am telling you to be bold. I have not given you a spirit of timidity, but of power, love, and a sound mind. I am your Father, and I am asking you to help me find my lost children. I am inviting you into the most important work in the universe, the work of redemption. When you lead someone to me, you are participating in a miracle that makes all of heaven rejoice. Do not be ashamed of my name. My name is the only name that saves, heals, and delivers. Use it. Share your testimony. Tell them what I did for you when you were at your lowest. Your story is a weapon that can break the chains of someone else's despair. The time is short, my child. Go into the harvest. I am with you, and my spirit will go before you. The clock is ticking, my beloved, and my spirit yearns for you to hear the full measure of my warning. It pains me to think you might grow weary and retreat just as we are entering the heart of the battle. If you stop listening now, you leave yourself exposed to the deceptions that are even now gathering at your door. I am pouring my very heart into you, Stay here in my presence and prove that your love for me is greater than your desire for comfort. My precious one, stop trying to do this in your own strength. You were never meant to navigate this emergency alone. I am commanding you, lean on the Comforter, the Holy Spirit. He is not a distant force. He is my very presence living inside of you. Invite the Spirit to lead you into all truth. When you are confused and don't know which way to turn, stop and listen. He is the internal compass that always points to my will. Allow my Spirit to groan for you when your own words fail. I see those moments when the pain is so deep or the stress is so high that you can't even form a prayer. In those moments, just be still. The Spirit is interceding for you with sighs too deep for words, speaking directly to my heart on your behalf. Experience the warmth of my presence even when the world feels cold and indifferent. I am inviting you to seek the gifts of the Spirit, not for your own glory, but for the edification of those around you. Follow the inner prompting that steers you away from danger. Do you ever get that check in your spirit, that feeling that you should say no or go a different way? That is the Holy Spirit protecting you. Don't ignore Him. Trust the counselor to give you the specific words you need for every situation. Whether you are facing a judge, a boss, or a rebellious child, the Spirit knows exactly what needs to be said. I am promising you that as you yield to Him, you will walk in a power that is not your own. You will have a patience that is supernatural and a wisdom that is divine. I see you struggling with your temper, your habits, and your fears. I am telling you that you cannot fix these things by trying harder. You fix them by surrendering to the Spirit. He is the refiner's fire that burns away the dross and leaves the gold. Let Him work in you. Do not grieve Him by holding on to your old ways. Instead, be filled with the Spirit every single morning. Ask Him to take the wheel of your life. I am your Father, and I gave you the greatest gift imaginable when I sent my Spirit to dwell in you. He is your helper, your advocate, and your best friend. Lean into Him. Let Him comfort you when you are sad and strengthen you when you are weak. You are not an orphan. You are a child of the King, and the King's Spirit is your constant companion. Relax in His arms. He knows the way through the storm, and He will get you to the other side safely. My child, look at the horizon. The shadows are long, and the day is drawing to a close. I am commanding you right now, prepare your lamp. Do not be like those who assume the light will always be there without effort. I am calling you to a deep, daily intimacy that keeps your oil full. I see you trying to run on the fumes of yesterday's prayers or last week's worship. That will not sustain you in the long night ahead. You must come to me every single morning to replenish your supply. I am the oil of joy and the fire of truth. I am inviting you to trim the wick of your spirit. Cut away the dross, the small compromises, the lazy habits, and the distractions that cause your flame to flicker and smoke. I want your light to be pure, steady, and bright so that when the world is plunged into darkness, you become a beacon for the lost. Stay awake and alert for the bridegroom's call. I see the spirit of slumber trying to settle over you, a heavy fog of normalcy that tells you there is no rush. That is a deception. The emergency is here, and the call can come at any moment. Refuse to let your fire go out in the long night of waiting. I know the wait feels long. I know your eyes are heavy. But I am telling you, your redemption is drawing nearer with every heartbeat. Lugub. Do not keep your eyes fixed on the mud of your struggles. Be ready at a moment's notice to enter the feast I have prepared. I am promising you that those who are ready will not be put to shame. They will walk into the glory while the world is left wondering what happened. I am your light, and I am giving you the oil of my spirit without measure. All you have to do is come and receive it. I see the exhaustion you feel from trying to keep your head above water in this economy, in your family, and in your own mind. I am telling you that the oil I give you is not just for survival, it is for radiance. When you are filled with me, you don't just endure the dark, you illuminate it. Do you feel the warmth of my presence beginning to glow in your chest? That is the flame I am fanning into life. I am breaking the cycle of burnout in your life. You have been trying to shine by your own strength, and that is why you are flickering. Stop. Lean into my grace. Let my spirit be the fuel. I am your Father, and I take no pleasure in a cold, dark lamp. I want you burning with passion and purpose. Keep your eyes on the door, my beloved. I am coming, and I want to find you ready, glowing, and expectant. My precious one, listen to me clearly. I have not given you a spirit of fear. If you are feeling a cold, paralyzing terror about the future, know that it did not come from my hand. I am commanding you, forsake the spirit of fear right now. It is a thief that comes to steal your peace and kill your vision. I have given you a spirit of power, of love, and of a sound mind. Embrace these gifts. They are your birthright as my child. I see the what-ifs that crawl into your bed at night, the fear of losing your house, the fear of your children going astray, the fear of a diagnosis. I am telling you to trample the serpent of terror under your feet. It has no authority over you unless you give it a seat at your table. Kick it out. Replace every fearful thought with a faithful declaration of who I am. Walk through the valley of the shadow of death without trembling. Do you hear what I said? I didn't say there wouldn't be shadows. I said you don't have to tremble. Why? Because I am with you. My rod and my staff, they comfort you. I am your shield and your great reward. I am promising you that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. This isn't just a slogan. It is my covenant with you. When the world shakes, you can stand still because your feet are on the rock. I am the God who stops the mouths of lions and quenches the violence of fire. You think I have suddenly become weak. I am the same God who stood with the 3 Hebrew boys in the furnace. The fire didn't burn them. It only burned the ropes that bound them. I am using this scary season to burn off the things that have been holding you back. I see the knot in your stomach when you read the news. I am telling you to stop drinking from the well of worldly anxiety. It is poisoned. Drink from my peace. I am your Father, and I am bigger than any government, any disease, and any disaster. I have already overcome the world. When you feel fear rising, lean into my love. Perfect love casts out all fear. Remind yourself, I am loved by the Creator of the universe. He knows my name. He counts the hairs on my head. He is for me, so who can be against me? I am breaking the spirit of intimidation that has kept you quiet and small. I am making you bold as a lion. Walk with your head up. You are protected. You are sustained. You are mine. The end of the story is already written, and we win. Rest in that victory today. My child, your time is a gift, and it is a currency you can only spend once. I am commanding you, redeem the time, for the days are truly evil. Do not let your hours slip through your fingers like sand. I see you giving your best energy to things that have no eternal value, endless entertainment, trivial arguments, and the pursuit of things that will eventually burn. I am asking you to teach your heart to number your days wisely. Every moment you spend in my presence is an investment that pays dividends forever. Eliminate the busy work that yields no spiritual fruit. You are running around trying to please everyone, trying to meet every demand, and you are leaving the most important things for last. Stop. Realign. Invest your hours in the things that please the Father. I am calling you to a holy discipline in your devotion and your service. Treat every moment as a divine opportunity. I see the people I have placed in your path, the lonely neighbor, the struggling coworker, the child who needs your full attention. Do not be so busy that you miss the mission. I am inviting you to live with divine precision. Ask me every morning, Father, what is on your heart for me today? I will show you the shortcuts. I will show you what to say yes to and what to say no to. I am promising you that when you prioritize my agenda, I will stretch your time so that everything truly necessary gets done. You will find a rhythm of grace that replaces the frantic pace of the world. I see the regret you carry for the years you feel you've wasted. I am the God who restores the years the locusts have eaten. Do not look back with sorrow. Look forward with intention. I am giving you a new focus. I am sharpening your vision so you can see the eternal in the middle of the everyday. This emergency is a reminder that time is short. Use it to build my kingdom. Use it to heal your family. Use it to grow in my word. I am your Father, and I want to help you live a life that counts. Stop wandering and start walking with purpose. I am with you, and I am directing your steps. Every second is a seed. Plant them well, and you will see a harvest that will take your breath away. My beloved, do not shrink back from the heat of the trial you are in. I know it is painful. I know it feels like you are being consumed. But I am commanding you, embrace the fire. I am the refiner, and I am sitting right next to the crucible. I am watching the flames with a heart of perfect love. I am not burning you. I am burning the wood, hay, and stubble out of your life. I am removing the pride, the self-reliance, and the hidden idols that have kept you from my best. Trust that I know exactly how much heat you can take. I will not let the fire become too hot, and I will not let you stay in a second longer than necessary. Rejoice as your faith emerges as pure, tried gold. Gold does not lose its value in the fire. It finds its beauty. Let the pressure produce the diamond of character within you. You want to be used by me. You want to carry my power. Then you must go through the process. There is no shortcut to holiness. I am fashioning something in you that can only be made under pressure. I see the beauty that is beginning to surface, the patience you didn't have a year ago, the compassion that has grown through your tears, the strength that has come from having nothing left but me. See the work I am doing. Do not complain about the furnace. Thank me for the purity it is bringing. I am promising you that when the process is done, you will reflect my image so clearly that the world will see me when they look at you. That is the goal of this emergency, to make you like my son. I see the scars you've gained in this season. I see the places where you feel burned and raw. I am telling you that I am the God who heals. I am applying the oil of my spirit to every wound. The fire has done its work. Now, the cool water of my grace is coming. You are coming out of this stronger, brighter, and more valuable than ever before. Do not fear the heat. It is the evidence of my attention. I don't refine what I don't value. You are my most precious possession, and I am making sure you are ready for the weight of glory I am about to pour out on you. Stand still in the fire, my child. I am right here in the flames with you, and we are coming out together. As you emerge from the refiner's fire as pure gold, realize that I have not only purified you for your own sake, but to make you a vessel of my overflowing grace. The world is burning with fear, and I am calling you to help me douse that fire with the living water of my truth through this channel. Your support, whether through a super thanks, a membership, or a PayPal gift, is the oil that keeps the lamps of this ministry burning through the long night. I am the God who multiplies the loaves and the fishes, and I promise that as you give, I will rebuke the devourer for your sake and protect your household from lack. This is your divine appointment to partner with the Creator in a work of global redemption. I am looking for those who will steward their resources with the same precision I have used to steward their lives. Act now, my beloved, and let your giving be the sacrifice of praise that breaks the chains of the lost. You are so close to the finish line, but the fire is at its hottest, and I cannot lead you through it if you turn your back on my voice. It would be a tragedy of the spirit for you to endure the refining fire only to walk away before the gold is revealed. My heart would ache to see you falter in these final moments of preparation. Hold fast to me for just a little longer. The final instructions I have for you are the ones that will anchor your soul forever. My child, look at the stars and remember, I am the Lord, and there is no other. I am commanding you, anchor your soul in my sovereignty. In this emergency, everything feels unstable. The foundations of the world are shaking, and the things you used to trust in are crumbling. But I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. I am not pacing the floors of heaven, worried about the next crisis. I am seated on the throne. Believe that I work all things together for your good, even the things that look like disasters right now. Rest in the fact that nothing surprises the Almighty. I saw this day before the foundations of the world were laid, and I have already planned your way through it. Acknowledge that my thoughts are higher than yours. You are trying to figure out the why with a human mind, but I am working with an eternal perspective. Submit to the King of Kings who rules the universe with a flick of his finger. Trust the hand of the one who holds the stars. I am promising you that I am not just watching your life, I am governing it. I see the hidden connections and the future blessings that you cannot see yet. I am the Alpha and the Omega. I see the end from the beginning, and I am telling you, it is well. Anchor your hope in my character. I am good and I am faithful, and I am kind. Even when you don't understand the plan, you can trust the planner. I see the anxiety that rises when you feel out of control. I am telling you, you were never in control. That was an illusion. And that is the best news you've heard all day. Because I am in control, and I love you more than you love yourself. Do you feel the relief in that? Let go of the steering wheel. Let me lead. I am your Father, and I am a master at turning evil into good. I am breaking the spirit of rebellion that makes you want to fight my will. Surrender to my sovereignty. It is the only safe place in a shaking world. I am your rock. I am your fortress. I am your God. Nothing can snatch you out of my hand, and nothing can stop my purposes for your life. Rest, my child. The King is on his throne, and he is your Father. My child, look at the world around you and see it for what it truly is, a realm that must bow to my command. I am calling you to stand up and walk in the authority of the name of Jesus. You have been living like a beggar when I have made you a co-heir to the throne of the universe. I am commanding you, speak the name that makes every knee bow. This is not just a word to end your prayers. It is the key to the storehouses of heaven and the weapon that shatters the gates of hell. I see you whispering when you should be declaring. When the darkness creeps into your home, when the spirit of lack tries to starve your family, or when sickness tries to take root in your body, do not just hope it goes away. Use your spiritual voice to command the mountains to move. I have delegated my power to you, but power that is never used is power that is forgotten. Bind the works of darkness in the name of my Son. I see the invisible chains the enemy tries to wrap around your mind, the chains of I can't, it's impossible, and I am defeated. I am telling you to break them with a single word. Release the healing power found in my holy name over your weary heart and your tired body. Remember that you are an ambassador of the Most High. When an ambassador speaks, he does not speak on his own behalf. He speaks with the full weight of his government behind him. When you speak in the name of Jesus, all of heaven stands at attention to back you up. Confidence in the name is confidence in my power. I am inviting you to stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being the ruler of your atmosphere. You have the authority to permit or to forbid. What are you allowing to stay in your life that I have already told you to cast out? I see the fear you have of being presumptuous or arrogant. I am telling you that true humility is believing what I say about you. If I say you have authority, then you have authority. I am promising you that when you step out in my name, the spiritual world will recognize the mark I have placed upon you. The enemy does not fear you, but he trembles at the Christ who lives in you. I am breaking the spirit of passivity that has made you feel like a spectator in your own life. I am putting a sword in your hand and a fire in your spirit. Use the name to bring peace to the storm, healing to the broken, and light to the dark. I am your Father, and I love to see my children walk in the fullness of their inheritance. Do not let the enemy bully you for one more second. Stand tall. Speak the name. Watch the mountains crumble. My beloved, look at those around you with my eyes. I see a world that is fractured, angry, and divided, and I see the enemy trying to sow those same seeds among my people. I am commanding you, maintain the unity of the Spirit at all costs. Refuse to let the enemy use your heart as a garden for discord. I see the petty offenses, the misunderstandings, and the he said, she said drama that hath been draining your spiritual energy. Forgive your brother and your sister as I have forgiven you, completely, immediately, and without reservation. You cannot walk in my power if you are carrying the weight of a grudge. I am inviting you to love your neighbor with a sacrificial, holy love that covers a multitude of sins. Keep the bond of peace through humility and grace. I want you to pray for those who despitefully use you or persecute you. This is the ultimate test of your maturity. When someone hurts you, the world tells you to strike back or to cut them off. But I am telling you to bless them. By doing this, you break the cycle of darkness and invite my light into the situation. Let my church be a house of many members but one body. Do you understand that you need the person sitting next to you and they need you? You were never meant to be a lone soldier. I am promising you that where there is unity, I command a blessing. If you want to see my glory move in your life, you must clear out the clutter of resentment and pride. I am breaking the spirit of isolation that makes you think you can do this on your own. I see the unspoken tensions in your family and the walls you've built to protect yourself. I am telling you to tear them down. Be the first to say I'm sorry, even if you weren't the one who started it. Be the one who brings the peace into the room. I am your Father, and nothing grieves me more than seeing my children fighting over things that won't matter in 100 years. This emergency requires a united front. We are in a war, and we cannot afford to fight each other. I am calling you to a higher level of maturity. I am calling you to be a peacemaker. I am with you, and I am giving you the grace to love the unlovable, to forgive the unforgivable, and to stay united in the face of a world that wants to tear you apart. My child, lift your gaze from the dirt beneath your feet and look toward the horizon. I see you are weary from the climb, but the summit is closer than you think. I am commanding you, keep your eyes fixed on the crown of life. Imagine the glory that awaits you in my presence, a place where there is no more pain, no more taxes, no more sickness, and no more fear. Do not lose heart, for your labor is not in vain. Every prayer you've whispered, every tear you shed in secret, and every act of obedience that no one else saw is recorded in my books. I am preparing a place for you that is more beautiful than your wildest dreams. Prepare for the day when I will personally wipe every tear from your eyes and say, "Well done, good and faithful servant." Long for that moment. Let the hope of heaven be the anchor for your earthly walk. When the economy is shaking and the world feels like it's falling apart, remind yourself that you have a retirement plan that is out of this world. I am inviting you to live with an eternal perspective. This emergency is but a light and momentary affliction compared to the eternal weight of glory that is being produced in you. I am promising you that every sacrifice you've made for the kingdom will be rewarded 100-fold. I see the times you've chosen me over your own comfort, and I have not forgotten. I am your great reward. I am the prize at the end of the race. I see you worrying about your legacy and what you will leave behind. I am telling you to leave behind a trail of light. Invest in the things that will last for eternity: souls, love, and truth. I am breaking the spirit of discouragement that tells you it doesn't matter. It matters more than you know. Every step of faith you take is echoing through the halls of heaven right now. I am your Father, and I am cheering you on. The finish line is in sight. Don't slow down now. Breathe in the hope of my promises and let them carry you through the final miles of this journey. I am waiting for you at the end of the road with open arms, and the feast we will share will make all of this struggle seem like a distant, fading dream. My beloved, we have come to the end of this conversation, but it is the beginning of your new life. The emergency is here, and the instructions have been given. There is only one thing left to do. I am commanding you, surrender all now. Lay down your final resistance at the foot of the cross. I see the small corner of your heart you've been keeping for yourself. The one secret sin, the one backup plan, the one worry you refuse to let go of. Give it to me. Declare me Lord over every hidden corner of your life. Do not step into this next season with one foot in the world and one foot in my kingdom. You will not survive the shaking that way. You must be all in. I am inviting you to step into the center of the storm with a heart of total, radical trust. Wait for my final instructions with a ready spirit. I am promising you that my grace is sufficient for this very moment. You don't need grace for next year. You only need grace for right now, and I am pouring it out on you like a flood. Know that I am the God who never sleeps and never slumbers. I am holding the blueprint of your life in my hands, and I am working all things together for your good. Rest in the everlasting arms of your heavenly Father. You feel the peace that is settling over you now. That is the seal of my spirit. That is the assurance that you are mine, and I am yours. I see your yes. I hear the silent I surrender rising from your heart. I am telling you that yes has shifted things in the spiritual realm that you cannot even imagine. I am breaking the final chains of your past. I am washing away the final stains of your shame. You are walking out of this encounter a different person than the one who walked in. You are alert. You are armed. You are loved. I am your God, and I will be with you even to the end of the age. Go forth in my power. Walk in my peace. Carry my light into the dark places. The emergency is an opportunity for my glory to be revealed through you. I am your Father, and I am so very pleased with you. Now, let's go. We have a world to save and a kingdom to build. I love you, my child. Always. My precious one, we have reached the final moments of this holy encounter, and I am asking you to seal your total surrender by becoming a pillar of support for my word. The urgency of this hour demands that we march forward together, leaving no soul behind in the shadows of the enemy. I have placed a desire in your heart to see my light reach the ends of the earth, Obey that prompting now by clicking the PayPal link or becoming a member of this sanctuary. I am the Lord of the harvest, and I tell you truly, what you sow in this emergency will return to you as a river of favor and supernatural breakthroughs. Do not let this moment of conviction pass you by, for I have chosen you to be a conduit of my provision in these evil days. I stand ready to bless the work of your hands and to multiply your seed sown 100-fold. I command you, step into your role as a kingdom financier and send my word forth with power this very second. My child, we have reached the final summit, and my heart is full as I look upon your willing spirit. Do not let the fire I have lit within you grow cold the moment this message ends. It would grieve me to see you return to your old ways after I have revealed the glory that awaits you. This is the moment where your words must match your heart surrender. Do not leave my presence without making the declaration I am about to ask of you. My child, the alarm has sounded, and the moment of your transformation is breathing down your neck. Do not let this holy urgency evaporate into the noise of the world. Instead, anchor your spirit right now by sealing this encounter with a bold, public decree. I am waiting to see your faith in motion, so I command you to go to the comments and declare with unshakable authority, Father, I am awake, I am ready, and I surrender all to your divine emergency. As you type these words, feel the chains of hesitation shatter and the fire of my purpose ignite within your soul. This is not just a comment, it is a prophetic marker, a line in the sand that tells the enemy your slumber is over. Do it now, for my grace is surging toward you, and the harvest of your obedience is ready to be gathered. I am watching, I am listening, and I am moving in response to your courageous yes. Amen.